Voltaire said, "Every man is a creature of the age in which he lives, and few are able to raise themselves above the ideas of the time." Plato educated the people by saying, "Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools speak because they have to say something." George Bernard Shaw warned us, "The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man." This is Razor Wire!
Saturday, March 7th, 7:33 in the evening. This is Razor Wire. Fitz, we have a guest tonight.
We do indeed have a guest tonight, which makes me tingly inside.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, why not?
Fantastic. All right. This is the tingly night with Fitz.
I'm glad I make you tingly.
Yeah, hey, I me too. God, imagine if I wasn't excited.
Oh. Well, that voice you're hearing is George Fonts from World Ablaze. Welcome.
That is it. World Ablaze podcast.
Thank you for joining us. This has been a long time in the making, and I could not think of a better time to have you on when the world is on fire, everything's falling apart.
Almost
There are no diplomatic relations.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like, did you know something was coming here? I mean, when you named your podcast, were you like, "Hey"?
I have no idea, man. I've been going back and forth with McShane about possibly working with you guys. It's like we're just always busy, and then the one time it does line up, it's like, holy shit, the world's on fire, like literally, like all this stuff's going on.
Seriously, the timing couldn't be better or worse or whatever.
You know what?
However you look at it.
We're at a point where we just have to write it out. Good, bad. I mean, it's evolution. We've talked about it. Evolution is hard. Hopefully it's going in the right direction. We'll see. But it's just one of those cases where we're gonna do what we do. So it'll be a fun one.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know we said it earlier. Well, not earlier, but like the last few weeks. Right now, like if anyone's out there thinking about starting a podcast, like you will have no lack of things to talk about because the doc this week is ridiculous.
Yeah. You guys sent me the doc. I'm like, wow, we got a lot to get through.
Yeah, and we're not going to for sure, but we're gonna try.
No, we definitely won't. It is a stacked doc. We truly do have a stacked doc, and we are going to get a Hefe sighting, which we have big news. Jeff is actually retiring from one of his new jobs. You guys didn't even know about this one, but he's retiring today. So we've got an announcement that's going to be coming up in his first appearance. Hopefully we get a second, but we'll see. It's definitely going to be a first. He actually had another job opportunity that came up just today as well. So we're going to get into that. So he's going to be very, very busy. We're going to get into Iran. I can't say that the war part's been really interesting outside of what the Navy's been doing. But the intrigue that's around it between Lloyd's of London getting involved, the UK shitting the bed, France suddenly wants to send a very tiny aircraft carrier into the mix.
A little baby
Charles
boat.
de Gaulle. It's a little baby boat.
We want to play.
And
they
then
just want to say they tried.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
Hey, we were part of it.
Right.
and yeah, there's a lot more to get through there. Maritime shipping is it's getting crazy. And we also had primaries this week. We had primaries,
which were interesting.
Which were very interesting. I don't know. For our listeners in Texas, Lisa, I don't know what to make of this. I'm looking forward to your breakdown at some point because wow, it was an interesting week for you guys. We got to get to Cuba, and then we'll see what else we get to. But it's definitely a very, very packed week.
Yeah, when we're getting to the primary stuff, like Dan Crenshaw being out, like he did not see that coming.
No,
I will see myself out.
Wow.
That was my little inside. Yeah. Hey,
wow.
you know, with this one good eye, I don't know. Sorry, had to try. That was terrible. You can edit that out later.
It was either that or pirate jokes. I mean, one of the two is.
Well, I got some of those too.
Oh, geez.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and dive in. We got a lot to get to, and we do want to try and hammer out as much as we can. So, Fitz, what beer do you have over there?
Mystery beer from Great Notion. You guys all know my spiel about Great Notion. They make 1 billion beers, so there's no way I'm going to guess this beer. But it poured a beautiful straw yellow color, very cloudy though. So it's either, when you see something like that, it's either a like a fruited sour, like one of the shake beers, or it's a hazy IPA. Then the smell hit me, and now I know it's a hazy IPA.
Okay.
It's definitely.
And who's it by?
Great Notion.
Great Notion. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how those. I don't think those guys sleep. They put out 50 new beers a week. I swear to God. Anyway, so I'm gonna give this thing a run. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, if you guys go to greatnotion.com, the number of beers that they have there is just ridiculous. It's
crazy.
Insane.
It's crazy. Definitely a hazy IPA. Little bitter. There's a nice, like, pleasant sort of aroma you get after you swallow it. Just kind of lingers in your mouth a bit. That is what she said. I like it. It's not bad. I cannot nail down the ABV here. It's got to be low. I'm not picking up any booze at all. It's either really low or super, super high, and all of my taste buds got burned off. I don't know.
Is it more citrusy, more tropical, more piney?
It's more tropical. Yeah, no. It's definitely tropical. A little bit of pine on the end, but definitely more tropical. Got the mangoes, the pineapple-y flavors in there. I mean, it's good. I like it. Let's see what we got here.
I think it's mango ripe.
Oh my God. This is so funny. Okay, good. I'm glad my camera's on here. So it is exactly mango ripe, because we were just talking about Crenshaw.
And he's a pirate.
But
yep, there you go.
And he's a pirate, but this is the non-alcoholic version, which is why I wasn't tasting any alcohol. Yeah, she got me again.
No,
yeah, so
she did that
this
to
one's,
you?
Yeah, this one's called Ripe as Fuck, or Ripe AF. So we got the can right there with the
wow.
So it's like a black and white version of the mango. So yeah, definitely the tropical. I like it. It's one of those things where if you just want to drink beer for beer's sake, it's perfect. It's not completely non-alcoholic. It does have a 0.5% ABV. So if I start talking weird later,
it's definitely that 0.5.
Yeah, it got me. It got me. It's okay. I got a side bitch that's a little heavier than usual. So it all worked out. It's all good. So
all right.
What about you, McShane? What are you rolling with?
Well, let's go over to George first. George, what you got?
All right.
Oh, sure. Let me see. So I actually grabbed a hazy. I don't usually do a lot of IPAs anymore, but I did a hazy today. And it is from Hen House Brewing. They're out of Santa Rosa. And they have the rooster as their mascot. This beer is called Stoked. And it's a 5.4% ABV. So not too heavy. I wanted to start a little bit lighter. But it's based around what they do with the Citra hops. And it's said to have basically notes of pog juice, papaya, a little bit dank. So I'm going to go with that. I don't know if you guys can see that can there.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Nice.
So I'll try it out. It's Northern California. I'll probably just drink this out of the can. I won't pour this. The second beer I have, I'm definitely going to pour. It's more of kind of a dessert beer, but we'll start with this guy.
Yeah.
Right on. I think that's the first hen house we've had on here, actually. That's awesome.
I think so too. Yep.
Actually, that goes down quite nice. Not going to lie. I don't get a lot of dank on it, to be quite honest. It's pretty smooth. You get a little bit of like pineapple or papaya in the back end, but other than that, yeah, it's actually pretty good.
That's a nice
I don't mind
IPA,
that one at all. Yeah. I mean, you get
I
the
really
hop sneak on the back end a little, but it's not heavy whatsoever.
I think people. Listen. There's still the
That's good.
IPA crowd out there that they love their stuff super piney and super dank.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, all of us went, dude, you guys are overdoing it. Like, tone it down a bit. So even when they say it's a dank beer, it's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah, agreed. And I'm glad they're pulling it back because it was getting to the point where it was like, it was more like you get a badge if you could take it. You know what I mean?
Seriously,
Right.
donkey piss. Yeah,
exactly.
That's
I mean,
really
perfect.
what it was. It's almost like
Yeah.
we're just going to go and make it as awful as possible, and just to make sure you grow hair on your chest.
I think they were just fucking with people, to be honest.
yeah.
At one point.
Seriously,
and it's stuck.
Seriously.
I think that's what it is, and
Yeah.
it just kind of stuck.
Yeah,
Yeah, but this
Yeah.
one's pretty good.
nice.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. I have one from Trillium Brewing out of Massachusetts. This is called Party Pump. It's a golden ale. I had a real, I had a tough decision to make before the show, and I have a Baltic, and then I also have a heavier Imperial that I was gonna go with, and I was gonna do those back to back. I'm like, that doesn't usually go real well, so. We'll save the heavy ones. Well, it's a 9.6 Baltic, which
Oh yeah.
is kind of
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
So,
You know what? You're saving yourself on the back end with all the editing.
Oh, yes.
that's what you're doing. You're saving yourself some work, which I appreciate. That's good.
Yeah. Tell me about it. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. Party Pump Golden Ale. It's only 4.5, but that's not always about the ABV, right?
Well, we all went light. Yeah, we did. Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Okay. We've all been the keggers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is definitely a keg beer. They nailed that, and it really isn't too much. It's really close to Bud Light. It reminds me of the old Bud Light kegs. It looks like it. It tastes like it. It actually has that locker room sock smell to it. So
Perfect.
yeah, can't.
Is it taking down
Damn it.
memory lane or what?
The smell is like so you got the keg goes in the big barrel, the half barrel with the ice around it,
Yep.
and then there's that smell that goes along with the alcohol the
Yeah.
next day.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
getting. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah. No, you
it doesn't
nailed
taste
It's-
bad.
It smells like feet. For like wherever you
Yeah.
had the kegger, it smells like feet for like the next week.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
uneventful. It's just it's a beer. It's all right. We're gonna get through it. It's okay.
It's a starter.
yeah. It's
yeah,
for sure a
There
starter.
you go.
It's a starter. George, tell us about the show. How did you get there? I, for one, I love the guests that you get on your show. It's always poignant. You have fantastic, insightful interviews, and you've had some interviews too that are pretty gritty. Also, how did you
Yeah.
come about with the show? What do you love about it?
Well, the show started. My brother kind of introduced me to it when I became a guest on his show, turned into a co-host on his show. My brother's been doing it for 10 years.
Wow.
And then after a while, he kind of wanted to go his direction, took a little bit of a break. And while I was with him, I started my show. And the reason I started my show is because I was hearing all these other podcasters, these newscasters, broadcasters, etc., that were talking about politics, talking about things going on in the world. And they were just, intentionally omitting certain facts and data. And, I really started noticing more during the COVID era, which all of us did, because we had nothing else to do. We're like, okay, I'm intent on hearing what's going on, and I'm going to watch what's happening. And we're like, hold on, that's not what happened. That's not the real story. So I'm hearing these half-baked nitwits out there talk, and I'm not saying that I'm above them, but I'm saying, and all of a sudden I'm like, if these guys can do this, why can't I? And I didn't expect anything, to be honest, guys. I was just kind of like, be honest, I kind of took the approach kind of like, like Aaron did of I Had to Say a podcast, just kind of venting, getting things out there. I made some minor corrections. based on what I've heard with certain headlines, certain stories. And then after a while, I'm like, you know what? I should probably take this a little more serious. And that's when I started switching directions a bit. And the guest thing came later. I was primarily solo. And if you listen to the show, which, I think most people here in the chat have, but if you listen to my show, there's definitely two of me. My solo efforts are definitely, I have a different approach. I definitely curse a lot more. I definitely will say certain things that I wouldn't say to someone directly. And the reason I do that is when I have a guest, my take has always been, sure, I lean right. Okay, if we're talking about left versus right and center, I consider myself like right of center. And so if I have a guest, I have a lot that I don't necessarily fundamentally agree with, but I think that if we don't hear the whole story, that we're not giving anybody else out there who's maybe listening to my podcast, your podcast, anybody's, by the way, the opportunity to make an informed decision about the situation. And so a lot of times I take it a little step further, and I use it as a learning opportunity for myself, because I'm going to hear the other side of the argument, and I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm going to listen. I might push back a little. And I've had some people criticize me for not pushing back more, but my intent is not to try to, like most of these podcast bros, if we're talking like a Dave Smith or these other guys, they're all about trying to dunk on the other person. They're trying to make them look bad. And I'm more about, okay, that was a good point that you made, but according to, this report, for example, it says that this is the real data on the topic or subject at hand, especially like if we're talking about border patrol and terrorists, et cetera. And I'll bring that up and see how they respond. So my approach is to try to get the truth out there. To be quite honest, I'd like to try to make corrections on certain situations. I'm really into geopolitics. And so honestly, the show's all over the place, but I got into it mainly because I heard so many people talking, just to be frank, talking out their ass. And It doesn't mean I'm better, by the way, guys. It's just, I thought I'm just going to take a different approach. And honestly, the approach I think that I'm taking, that most of us independents like you guys, it's not the popular approach. It's because we're not here to sensationalize. We're not trying to just get likes and clicks. We're trying to tell people what's going on. And hopefully even our opinions are informed enough for them to make a proper decision about what's happening. So that's my take. And that's kind of how I got started. And now I just want to see where it goes, at this point.
Yeah. No, I got to say that was well said. Because I do appreciate that about your show, that, you have your opinions, but you don't have an agenda. And that's the separation right there, is that you're allowed to have your own opinion about what things you're seeing and what things are happening. But when you start pushing your shit on other people, or you're not willing to listen to what they have to say about the same exact subject, then we're losing what makes this country great, which is our diversity, which is our, just our thought process that goes into making laws. How are you going to treat your neighbors? How are you going to function in the working world, in the business world? It's what makes us great innovators. And I think you really capture that on your show. So I appreciate that. That's awesome.
I appreciate that. And honestly, I know I'm a bit of an asshole sometimes, but it's always been a part of my personality. So
I'm not
going anywhere.
Yeah. What are you talking about? I am the sweetest person. Oh boy. Yeah.
So you've been able to corner some really great conversations, especially based around the Iran uprising, the revolution. Tell us about those conversations and how have they held up against where we are now?
Well, the situation. So as I stated before, I have a real interest in geopolitics, where a lot of people focus on domestic politics. And I think there's enough people doing that. So I dove into geopolitics, and especially interested in what happens in the Middle East. It's such a large region with a lot of history. And I've always been interested in those relationships and how those relationships affect the Western world or Western cultures. And of course, especially the USA, since U.S. citizen, right? So my interest in that area is really due to how that area, the Middle East in general, affects the rest of the world. Because even though we have the superpowers such as China, Russia, United States of America, the Middle East speaks loudly. When things happen, people pay attention. So when it came to, for example, it started with Islam. And so I took an interest in Islam and studying, its history, how it came about, all of that. And just so people know, if anyone tries to call me out, I have just started reading the Quran because I do want to understand where they're coming from. Doesn't mean I agree with everything, but at least I have an informed opinion about that particular religion. And so I started diving deeper into, well, when did terrorism start in the Middle East? 1400 years ago. I mean, literally at the start of Islam. So, and I can get deeper into that if you guys want later, guys, but that's how my interest started in the region. And then everything started pointing more towards Iran, which was Persia, as you guys know. You guys did a whole show on it. Yeah. Yep. And so this whole thing that happened with Iran, which was really the jewel of the Middle East, the thing that's crazy is everybody thinks Iran, they think Islam. Well, Islam is not the native religion of the area.
No, it's not.
It never was. It was a long, slow march towards conquering Persia and making it into Iran. And so if we're going to fast forward, we're going to look at 1979 when the Islamic regime, or the Iranian regime, they like to call themselves, but it's the Islamic regime, took over. And they had the opportunity, because it was ripe for the taking, because at the time people were unhappy with the Shah because of the nationalization of oil. That was one of it, because they weren't getting money, the people were poor. And then they also thought that they were the Shah was becoming too westernized. And so there was a lot of air quotes, conservatives in Iran, which really means, hardcore Islamists, who thought that it needed to go back towards those principles. And so the Islamic regime, what they did is they worked with, just like we see in the USA, and I just had this conversation earlier this morning, they started going into and manipulating higher educational facilities, getting in with the youth, introducing them to their ways of thinking, turning them into fundamentalists or Islamic fundamentalists. And the situation became ripe for the Islamic regime to take over. So
that almost sounds like what's happening here, George.
Exactly.
I was just going to say, wow, that story sounds familiar.
The parallels are crazy, aren't they? So, with that being said, that's how this whole thing came about. And as I'm going to fast forward a bit now to the guests, since that's what you asked about. So I've always had an interest in the region. And then when everything started happening, especially when Trump started putting his foot down, right? First, we could look at the conflict between, Israel and Hamas, and we can talk about Gaza, Palestine, whatever. But behind the scenes was always Iran. Iran has been behind every major terrorist attack through their funding of their proxies, right? And that's the thing that was interesting about Iran. Iran can have representation in the UN. They could have representation around the world, act like they're just, hey, we're just like you. While in the background, they act like the mafia, that they have their heads up there.
Yep.
The leaders who are removed through buffers, and then they can say, hey, it wasn't us. They throw their hands up. But, the people that they're calling the shots, and they're funding these terrorist organizations to carry out things on their behalf, do all the bad things that we don't want people to do. So a lot of people never really brought that up. They kind of would mention it. They would just say, oh, they're the largest sponsor of state, terrorism in the world. Cool, but what's the connections? They kind of ignored that, because when you pressed Iran or the Iranian government, they just throw their hands up and say, hey, we weren't involved. You can't prove it.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. So the guests I've had recently, let's just go from here. So when it came to Islam, I had I forgot. Dan Bermawi. So Dan Bermawi is a very popular author on that subject. He was a Jordanian, not an Iranian, but he was a Jordanian. He was a Muslim who converted to Christianity. And his whole thing is literally trying to educate people on Islam and the truth of Islam. So it started with him. And then talking to some intel experts and analysts that I still stay in touch with. I think you guys know who Curvin is, and we still stay connected.
Yeah. A coin.
Yeah, we talk. And when he can, he fills me on his stuff. And then I had Mahtab Farid, who is she'll call herself an American Iranian. So she is from Iran.
Mm-hmm.
From Iran. Her family came to America during the actual regime change in '79. She was, I want to remember, I think 8 years old, she said, when all that was going on. So she still has a very good memory of the things that they went through. And as a journalist, I've had her on and we talked about things. And so she gave me a lot from her perspective as an Iranian who's in America. And, they consider themselves Persian. I have a lot of friends, or associates, people I know in my area, because we have a big Persian community. And so I speak with these people as well. I tried to get as much information. The problem that we're having with this Iranian war and this conflict right now is all the misinformation warfare going on.
Yeah.
And so I try to take a different approach to where I want to actually talk to the people who have firsthand experiences, who can actually give insight based on who they are, who their families are, where they're from, versus just trying to ascertain what's happening from headlines. Because in wartime, it's really hard to decipher what's true and what isn't. So after Matab Farid, I went ahead and I was actually contacted by Zalal Habibi's representatives. Now, she's an interesting guest, guys, because here's the deal. She's not necessarily popular. She is and isn't because of the organization she's with. So the National Council of Resistance of Iran, right?
Yeah.
So the NCRI is also part of MEK. It's really the political arm of the MEK. And if you know anything about the MEK, if you go back through the history, a lot of Iranians do not like them for the reason that they opposed the Islamic regime. Okay. They did not want that. So they opposed them, and then they were labeled terrorists by the Islamic regime. They were ran out of Iran. Well, through some of their insurgencies and uprisings against the regime, they have killed Iranians, caught in the crossfire. The biggest criticism comes from that organization because they went to Iraq when they were exiled, and they actually were supported by Saddam Hussein, who used them as a tool. So what happened is he funded them. He got behind them. And then they had this big conflict between Iraq and Iran, right? The Iran-Iraq War.
Yep.
Well, Saddam Hussein used MEK as a tool through the funding and everything. And MEK took the opportunity to go, well, if this is happening, we're going to go in and help remove the regime. But in the process, in that war, many Iranians died. So I got a lot of pushback just for talking to her the first time. And,
Really?
I did, because a lot of Iranians were very offended by it. They're like, hold on, there's other people you can talk to. Why did you have her on? The organization she represents. Now, that organization was labeled a terrorist organization for years. I think it was only a few years ago that they were finally declassified, or they were no longer considered a terrorist organization. They have, I think, their offices or wherever I always talk to her from. And what's funny is she's always in this white room. It's always kind of like you can't see the background, and her phone's always going off, and you can tell people are like checking on what she's saying, etc. I mean, you could tell, but
I did notice that she didn't seem real comfortable while she was talking.
I would say she seemed like she was, but I can tell she was trying to hold back a bit. She wanted to say certain things, but then she didn't really, I don't think she was in a comfortable position to really go all out, so to speak. So she's based in Paris. And so the second time that I had her on, she reached out to me because of what's going on with this conflict. And then that's the one that you guys were just talking about, like that recent interview. And the important thing is, regardless of the organization she's with or how people feel, her organization has firsthand insight. They have people on the ground. They get information from within Iran, even though that the internet is in a blackout and has been for quite some time. They have their own, let's just say, spies, right? Just like their own CIA, so to speak. It's not really
boots on the ground.
Yeah, they have their people, and they get that information in and out.
Right.
So the reason I talk to her is, I mean, for one, I think it's valuable insight. But I do take some of it with a grain of salt, because at the same time, she has talked about trying to push the MEK's values into the governance of Iran moving forward. She kind of changed her tune this time slightly by saying, well, we're just looking to see an independent democratic Iran.
Right.
And that may be the case. So she did offer a lot of insight. She gave insight into how Iranians really feel. Interesting to learn that, most Muslims these days, they want a more modern Iran. They don't want to see a theocracy anymore. They want a separation of religion and state. Okay. So they no longer want to be, they no longer want a nation ruled, by the thumb of some perverse version of Islam that's imposed on them. Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing is, the the organization she's with, they do have their own resistance force. And so they never really went away. And she did say something that I caught, and where she said, well, if anybody is willing to stand up to the resistance, we're willing to help them and fund them. So I think that they're doing a lot more than she really was trying to let on. But their organization is very much about taking out the Islamic regime. Now, in our discussion, it was like, okay, this is all interesting because, for one, as we all know, the Ayatollah was wiped out within the first few hours of the attack by the U.S.
Yeah.
That didn't last very long. So Khomeini, he's out. They tried to put a replacement in. He's out. And so what wasn't said, and what was buried in the news, as you guys very well know, with a lot of these things that go on, is Khomeini actually gave instructions to the IRGC, because I think he knew his time was up.
Right.
And so the IRGC right now is really the militant arm, and they are very authoritarian themselves. They're very violent. They have they approach everything from almost like zealots, religiously. They're very, very much in support of the Islamic regime. So, with that being said, the IRGC is still the force that they need to contend with to overthrow. And I'm talking about the people. And that was the conversation that was interesting, because when I pressed her on, I was like, well, how are you expecting the people themselves to take Iran without any outside help? Because everybody is taking the position that we don't want Western meddling. We don't want Western interference. And I said, let's be honest. If the U.S. didn't do what they did, you would never have had this opportunity, because regardless of how many insurgents you have at the ready, how many other people you can support, you don't have the arms or armament to be able to do what is needed to take them down. And so this opportunity was created because Trump isn't taking any shit. I mean, let's be honest. He's one of the first presidents in about 50 years of bad policy when it comes to Iran.
Yeah.
Nobody was willing to do what needed to be done. Obama gave them money. Biden gave them money. Why would you fund the number one state sponsor of terrorism? That makes no fucking sense, right?
Oil, baby.
Unless you're working for the Brotherhood. I mean, that's right. You got that other angle there too.
Hey, George, real quick. I just want to ask this before you get a little further down the road. And I'm sure this is already happening to some degree, but I'm concerned that the IRGC, they're gonna fire off their missiles like they have been and just attack everybody who looks at them weird. But I'm concerned they're gonna turn inward and there's going to be mass slaughter of Iranians. And I'm wondering if you have any sense of that.
So there, I would say
more so than they already have.
Yeah,
more so. Yes, I know it's already happening, but I fear that you could. Because, like you said, the people don't have armament. They're not walking around, armed to the teeth with guns or vests. So it'd be very easy for them to say, "All right, fuck it, we're going down, but we're taking every one of you with us."
Yeah, and so okay. So to your point, that is a valid concern. Now, if these guys are smart enough, they would realize that is a bad decision, because if you're going to turn inward, then who are you going to rule later? Who's your people? Where's your support going to come from? So just by that, I don't think that they're going to do that. The only way I see that happening, honestly, is when they know it's the end.
That's what I'm worried about right there.
Yeah.
That's when they see the writing on the wall, they're going to be like, fuck it, just scorched earth and we're done.
And I think that would be a last resort type of scenario, because what we've seen with the missiles, the volley missiles being fired at their own neighbors, their own Muslim neighbors, by the way.
Yes.
Okay. Is basically, and I think you guys brought this up on your last episode, and you really called it what it was. It seemed like a death rattle, right? It was something that it was a desperate reaction and retaliation, and it was almost like they said, "Fuck it, we're just going to go after everybody. If you're not standing with me, you're my enemy, and I'm going to show you how powerful I am." Problem is, their targeting sucks. They have a lot of weapons, a lot of missiles. They have a lot of the Shahed's drones because they're cheap. but they didn't have maximum impact in any of their attacks. Most of it was intercepted by air defenses from Qatar, Kuwait, even Israel, and whatever the U.S. could do, when they were there and involved. So they've proven that, yes, they have a lot of missiles, but it doesn't last forever. And it's very questionable right now as to whether or not much of that stockpile they have is even functional and operational outside of the drones that they have and manufacture, because they ramped that up because they were supporting Russia in the war against Ukraine.
Right,
So a lot of people
right,
didn't realize that Iran actually supplies a lot of technology and weapons to Russia.
Yep.
They're cheap, they can make them fast, and they have them at the ready for themselves. But at this point, the U.S. is very good. Here's the thing about what's going on right now. The U.S. has proven they've been a sleeping giant. They've been tolerant for many years. And a lot of people thought our military was incapable. They're like, you haven't been in war in years. This is never going to work out. Well, look at Venezuela. How long did that last? 3-4 hours?
Yeah.
If that, yep.
I mean, really?
Yeah, and that was just the Rangers that went in.
In and out. Yep.
Yeah.
And then so everybody was saying, well, a war against Iran or attack against Iran is futile. Like it doesn't make sense. The retaliation. I think a lot of the fear comes from the sleeper cells that are actually inserted into many Western nations. A lot of people want to deny that fact, but it's true.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
They funded the soft invasion that we see. Now, we got to look at that aspect as well with Iran, that this soft invasion that we see with the migration, right, in the UK and also what's happening in the US, they're taking a different approach with that. They still have actual armed terrorists. Okay, they do. And I can point to the CPB data or the CBP data when it comes to that. Like in 2025, there was over, actually, I'll just give you the accurate number. 2025 alone, guys, there was 4,011 encountered terrorists, known terrorists that came through our southern border that tried to come through, but they were caught. Okay, so we're doing the math. That's over 80 terrorists per state.
Yeah. So,
Those
and
just
how
the
many
ones that
got
they
through?
caught.
Yeah, exactly. How many got through? Yeah.
So right now, if we're looking at 2026, and most of this data is basically January to 2026. I'm not sure how current this is, but we're not even done, and we've already encountered 3,927 terrorists.
Yeah.
So it's very scary, and that's what has kept the Middle East in line in terms of retaliating against Iran, because it was like, at any given time, like, what are we going to be dealing with, right?
Yeah.
But Trump said, fuck that. He's like, look, I'm done. I'm not going to play these games. He showed everybody how big the U.S.'s balls really are. Really, he's going around teabagging the world right now. And he's like, this is the U.S. fucking A. We've been very strategic. We've shown everybody who we are and how capable we are. And it even put China on their heels for a bit. They're like,
yes, it did.
Let's rethink this Taiwan thing. We're going to cool out for a bit. And they even started pulling back from Iran, because a lot of people don't know that Iran and Russia, China, and even North Korea are allies, but big air quotes there, right? Because we all know any one of those guys will turn on each other at the drop of a hat. So it made China notice, right?
Yeah. And we also know 80% of Iranian oil was going to China. 75% of Venezuelans' oil was going to China. I mean, this was a multi-pronged, multiple birds with one stone by taking out these two countries, which
absolutely.
I love that you kind of brought up. I mean, we hit Venezuela hard and first just to put everyone on notice. And then it's like, now we're coming for you, and now we're coming for you. And oh yeah, you guys over there better stand the fuck up, because we're coming for you.
And what was it, Thursday, right. I think it was Thursday evening, we started seeing reports that we had Rangers going into Ecuador.
Yes. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me comment on that, the Ecuador thing really quick.
Yeah.
So the tie-in there was why we were there in Venezuela in the first place, to take out Maduro. It wasn't just the drugs, like Arita was saying. I mean, that was the talking point. But China and Iran have been involved in that area for quite some time. Mm-hmm. And we can go deeper into the China side. I don't think that's the direction we're going with your show today. But, if we want to talk about that later, we can. But Iran was there. And they were working on inserting and setting up terrorist cells within South America or Latin America.
For sure.
And so that's the tie-in.
Here's Stephen Miller.
We are not going to cede an inch of territory in this hemisphere to our enemies or our adversaries. Our national security, our homeland security the safety and well-being of our people begins at home, begins in our neighborhood, begins in our home region. And for too long, we have allowed foreign enemies, foreign adversaries, and enemy terrorist organizations to control territory and spaces in this hemisphere where they can project power, project threats, and directly threaten the lives of your citizens and our citizens. And so under the leadership of President Trump, we are using hard power, military power, lethal force to protect and defend the American homeland. Not a single one of your nations should tolerate the existence of a single square mile of territory that is under the control of any entity other than the sovereign governments of your country. The idea that we would have in this hemisphere area that are under the physical control of foreign terrorist organizations, paramilitary organizations, is completely unacceptable. The cartels that operate in this hemisphere are the ISIS and the Al-Qaeda of the Western Hemisphere.
I want to go back to the China piece, though, because when you look at the socialist takeover that we're enduring, you look at how Iran and the Islamist takeover, and it's all coordinated. It is absolutely coordinated. You can't.
Oh yeah.
It is overpowering at this point, and I'm waiting for somebody to just go out and say, "This is what's happening." This is legit what's happening.
I think that's what Stephen Miller started to get to there.
Yeah, I think people have said it. The problem is the people have said it, they don't have the audience.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
They're suppressed. It's like, the perfect example. We saw a flash in the pan when it was reported that the US just struck an agreement with, I forgot how many Latin American countries, to come together and strategically, militarily go after cartels. That just happened. Hegseth signed the agreement with multiple nations. The only one that didn't sign it was, surprise, Mexico. That and
of course.
Colombia, I believe, whatever. But I could be wrong. But this just happened, and we're not hearing about it, right? So there have been people talking about the China piece because it goes back to their Belt and Road Initiative, and they needed that by controlling the Panama Canal, working with Peru. And then Venezuela was obviously a huge part of that, especially with Maduro being there. Now that Maduro's not there, I mean, China really doesn't have the power they did outside of controlling the Panama Canal through their, air quote companies, right?
Yeah, their proxy. Yep.
Yeah. So, the China piece was always there. It's just the people that were talking about it, guys, they just weren't getting the boost. It wasn't getting shoved out there to the people because let's be honest, it wasn't exciting or sexy. It's like, no, I want to hear about the Epstein files. But that's also very important. But what's also important is that our Western Hemisphere is getting taken away, and other countries are strategically positioning themselves against the United States of America by being right there in our own hemisphere. And it wasn't being dealt with.
I want to go back to originally what we were talking about when we first started talking about influencers and talking about the stories why we all do what we do and why it's different from a lot of the influencers that are out there. This is the perfect example of things that the sorters, right? The Sobiaks and all of those guys should be talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
If they were actual journalists, they would be bringing this stuff up. We have the Tiabis, we have the Schellenbergers, the Catherine Herringers, which those are the ones we reference on the show a great deal. And I'll be very, very honest. I like where CBS is starting to come from. CBS is even starting to bring some. It's almost balanced. They really are.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating for me to sit here and have somebody, this week's flavor of the week is we're just going to talk about the Leering Centers. It's all about Minnesota.
Right.
The next week, we're back to the Epstein files. The saving grace for me from this past week was that 47,000 more Epstein files were dropped, and nobody is giving a damn about it.
No one gave a shit.
And which makes you wonder, right? Is the narrative, well, we want everybody to be concentrating on Iran. It is that whole point. It's the whole narrative and what's actually important. I think the Iran thing is the main story. I really do. Is that why maybe we're starting to float float some other stuff under the radar, like the next set of Epstein files? Maybe, but it's just I just feel like the influencers, the independent journalists, they've just absolutely fucking failed.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, McShane, the deal is the independent journalists are primarily the ones we see with these X accounts, right? Even they have starting to realize that they got to stay within a certain lane to keep their audience engaged. And the average person doesn't want to go into the intricacies of these geopolitical conflicts. Let's just be honest. I mean, even I'm probably boring people right now. Let's just be, I can go on about this stuff, but it's not fun. It's not fun.
But this is the minutia. I would rather have a conversation like this about what actually matters, about what things actually are, and have that on record that at least somebody was talking about it, than to be sitting here, well, let's just go ahead and let's just go for the layups.
Yeah.
That's the frustrating part for me.
But let's talk about what you just said. It's like, okay, the Iran conflict, war, whatever anybody wants to label it, that's the thing. Well, it's been the thing for a long time. A lot of people just were avoiding the issue, through bad policies, through sanctions that just have proven to never really work. Some will argue they do economically work, but in the long run of it, everyone finds a way around it. Like we could sanction Russia all we want, but they still trade with India. They still trade with Brazil. They still find ways to make money. So the sanctions only go so far. And when it came to Iran, when you have a regime that's been in power where their absolute foreign policy has been death to America and to take down the Western nations, at some point, you're going to have to deal with it. If we look at the history, look, the biggest win that Islam has had, if we're looking at it, was 1492? Make sure I got that correct, guys. 1453. So 1453. That was when they overran and they took Constantinople. Okay. So before it was Turkey, that is a Muslim nation, it wasn't. It was a Christian nation.
Right.
And Constantinople was looked at as the jewel of the Christian world. It was like the last stand to the takeover by the Muslim conquest or Muslim invasions. And so they were really focusing on Constantinople. After that is when you started to see the change slowly and ever so slowly, more and more and more over the years. And so their approach, like everybody always says, well, China has the 100 or 1,000 year plan. Well, they may, but the people who have proven to actually put that into practice has been the extreme Islamic practitioners, the people in charge that are pulling the strings behind the conquest. Historically, you can't ignore it. So we've been on a collision course with not the Iranian people. And that's the thing that I need to clarify, because too often you see in the news, all they say is Iran, Iran, Iran. No, we're not fighting Iran. We're fighting the Iranian regime, the Islamic regime, and the IRGC. It's very important to distinguish the two.
Yeah,
but nobody wants to acknowledge that distinguishment. Nobody wants to, because if you do that, then Orange Man gets credit.
Right. Well, and you're separating out the bad guys from the good guys, and we can't have that. They all have to be one or the other.
I mean, I agree with you guys. Look, it seems like we're all on the same page of this, and I got to also say that a lot of people are saying this isn't a war. Yes, it is a war. Okay, it's not declared a war, but it's a war against the regime that's been in place for over 50 years that have killed thousands and thousands of people around the world, not just in the Middle East. Thousands of American soldiers. Okay, they've killed many of their own people because they opposed their view of Islam and how they're applying it in an authoritarian, violent, oppressive manner. And so this had to be dealt with. When the whole world says you're the number one sponsor of terrorism, at some point you got to deal with that. So, as I've said before, we've been on this collision course. It's just Trump who had the balls to step in and say, we're taking care of this now.
Well, and I think if here's the deal, we've been taking the blame for the mess in the Middle East anyway. So if you're going to blame us for everything that's going wrong around the world, well, then why don't we just go ahead and fuck shit up and take the blame anyway? Because it was happening.
Yeah.
Let's own it.
And so let's own it, and let's actually. But yeah, at the end of the day, exactly. Let's go ahead and make some actual change that's good for people on the ground, that's good for the world as a whole, that's good for world economies, et cetera. And also put some other really bad people on notice that maybe they tone their shit down a little bit and just kind of stay in their corner of the world.
And it has. I mean, to your point,
that's
really
exactly
has.
Totally. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
it
has.
I want to go back to that CBS post. I thought it's important to acknowledge when there's been improvement that's been made. I want to go ahead and play this one clip from CBS.
If you're looking for an origin point of this current war, don't look to the earliest hours of this Saturday. Look back to November 4th, 1979. That was the day Iranian revolutionaries stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, capturing 52 Americans and parading them in blindfolds for the whole world to see.
A new and daring element was disclosed today in the Iran crisis, which has held world attention for 87
For the next 444 days, they were held captive, the tally kept nightly by Walter Cronkite. Finally, the hostages were released, but that wasn't the end of the story either. Far more bloodshed was to come. In 1983, 241 U.S. service members were killed in their barracks by an Iran-backed suicide bomber in Beirut. Americans can argue, and they are, over whether this is a war of necessity. But what's clear from the history is that the fuse of this explosion is 50 years long and has included the loss of thousands of American and Iranian lives. Every president since Carter has tried to end this conflict. In 2015, President Barack Obama announced a deal to stall Iran's nuclear ambitions, a deal that President Trump replaced with a campaign of maximum pressure and now military might.
Today, the United States military continues to carry out large-scale combat operations in Iran to eliminate the grave threats posed to America by this terrible terrorist regime.
That history is why the president's allies in Congress say he hasn't started a war with Iran. He is finishing one.
I can't argue with that. I really can't. But it needs to be finished, though. It needs to be finished.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I was going, McShane. Is I do think people miss a point, which is that, I guess we're calling out the left tonight, because, as we do every week, I guess.
Well, they deserve to be called out, though. They deserve to be called out.
Because they're not thinking. They're not thinking through what they say. Because right now, what they're saying is, "Oh, here goes the U.S. again, just bombing some innocent country, and just torching everything, knocking it all to the ground, just making a parking lot out of what was once a beautiful neighborhood." You know the rhetoric. The thing is, and if the U.S. just applied all of its, because we have a small fraction of our ready to go force in that region. I mean, we sent the Navy for sure, but we don't have any battalions, any Army battalions. We have not let loose the dogs of war, the Marines, yet. We are doing surgical precision strikes right now, and we're trying to minimize the collateral damage. Are we at zero? You never are. It's war, but we're trying to minimize it. If we wanted Iran wiped off the map, they'd be gone already. We would do the same thing we did in Venezuela, which again was very surgical, tried to minimize the loss of life and just take out the guy that needed to be taken out. Well, we took out Khomeini, but as you said, George, the IRGC is now operating basically as a terrorist cell in their own country and they happen to have a military know-how behind them and military equipment. So that's what we're dealing with. And you can't just go in and start dropping nukes, because we don't like all that, because the Iranian people they do deserve to have their country back. They are a beautiful people. It's a beautiful culture. Their history is long and diverse, and we should embrace it. So we're going to have to do this one step at a time. And I think people lose the sight of that, and they just think, well, we're coming in with the biggest sword and chopping off heads. No, we haven't even taken out our pocket knife yet. We're just starting a fist fight.
I mean, I believe I believe you're spot on with that. The thing that you said though about, we haven't put boots on the ground. I think that what we're showing the world right now is that we may have not been as active, but we've been improving. We've been paying
Mhm.
attention.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, we have been shown, we've shown the world how surgical we can be.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so let's draw attention to the school that was bombed and the children that
Yes.
were killed. Okay.
Yes.
So let's go that direction. Blaming the U.S. The left is pushing that story
Yeah, they
more
have to.
than they are in the Middle East, because the left can't give Trump credit, as you said earlier,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
And so, does anyone really believe that with our capabilities and our technology, that the U.S. intentionally killed children?
Right.
No.
What they don't talk about is in that vicinity, very close to that school, is an actual military base. Okay, there are other things that people don't talk about, and which is common in the Middle East, is they use their people and their civilians as shields, because they
Absolutely.
think that the West, we're so empathetic, our hearts are so big, and we wouldn't dare, and we wouldn't. But that, if it was the U.S., it still hasn't come out and been confirmed that the U.S. actually did that. But if it was very much not intentional whatsoever. It could have been targeting, that base or that facility that was, in that area. At the same time, there's news and chatter that came out from the Middle East itself, and I don't have the clippings on me, from reports saying that it was confirmed it was actually an Iranian missile that misfired, that didn't make it out.
And that would be the second one also, because there was last weekend on, I think it was Sunday, they had one that was misfired.
Yeah, I mean, this whole Iran thing is situation sad because it's needed. And it's like, it's unfortunate it happened now, but again, as I said, at some point it was going to happen.
Yep, it needed
and
to.
so we can be opposed and hate war, and you have everybody in, well, most of these people online, even these so-called MAGA people that are saying we didn't vote for this. We don't want wars, no new wars. Like, don't be an idiot.
It's very short-sighted.
This isn't an actual war, per se. I would say it's a war against the regime. But I'm going to keep repeating myself. We've been on this collision course for over 50 years, period. And nobody wants to talk about that. This was going to happen. This isn't for Israel. Okay. This is for the rest of the world. Because if you look at not just terrorism, guys, and we're talking about what's been happening with, like I stated earlier, when we're starting to talk about the migrations or the immigrants that were coming from the Middle East, this soft invasion that they've been playing, this hand they've been playing, Iran has kind of gotten away from, we're going to go ahead and start terrorizing Western nations. And we have seen some attacks on our own soil by people who are sympathetic to the Iranian regime.
Just today.
Yeah. I mean, it just keeps happening, but not at the level it could. What they have been doing is they've been playing the long game and realizing, okay, communist playbook. Let's just be honest. You're taking a page out of the communist Marxist playbook. What is the best way to take over a nation?
From the
It's
inside
manipulation through controlling the narrative and the higher education facilities. You have to start by changing minds through continuous, consistent messaging. And so I was actually talking to Bruce, Road Rage podcast. And we're talking this morning about this. And he made the point where he said, why is it like, he's like, look how old I am. He goes, it seems like everything's happened. If you do the math, it's like 3 generations removed. I said, exactly. Because it takes time. It's a long, slow, consistent drip. It is exactly the playbook that they are sticking to. And we're just not realizing it because it's like slow cooking a frog, right? You turn the temperature up a little bit more. And before you know it, the frog is cooked and doesn't even know it. So that's what we're dealing with. That's been the play by the Iranian regime. And we're just not recognizing. All right, I'll get on my soapbox.
No, this is how the show goes. Are you kidding me? All right. So with that, I want to go ahead and bring in this UK position that I feel like we knew it was out there, talking about nations that have been pretty much overwhelmed and are they put a fork in it. The UK is pretty much done.
Yeah.
This week with Lloyd's of London and having the Five Eyes, for everybody out there, that's the big council that shares information, intel. Let's see, it's New Zealand, Australia, the UK, I think France, and America. we're
isn't
cutting
Canada
off
in there?
Oh, you know what? It's not France, it's Canada. Canada's good old worthless Canada. So this week we've got this maritime insurance issue that pops up where Lloyd's of London doesn't want to insure anybody, giving in to the Strait of Hormuz being locked down. And then Trump comes in and says, "Nah, we're going to insure everybody. To hell with you. We've got this covered." And it's taken on a life of its own because now the Five Eyes is pretty much collapsed. We're not dealing with them anymore. Right. We obviously don't want to work with Canada because they're China puppets at this point. The UK has been taken over by Islam, and this week it got really, really crazy, especially when you talk about Starmer wanting to go ahead. He wanted to go ahead and send out more military, kinda. Maybe we'll get somebody around. We'll get a ship out there in maybe a week after we get them going.
Yeah,
very strange week.
He dipped a toe in, and I love Trump's response today. He was like, "Hey, thanks, but no thanks. We don't need you after we already won." And the Lloyd's of London thing, I'm not going to go into it. No, it's not worth it tonight. Maybe at some point we will go into the history of events there. But if you go back to British imperialism, the Indian Trading Company, so Lloyd's secured the world's oceans, and they still are the number one maritime insurance provider. So when they say we're not going to do it, everyone else is just kind of left like, well, fuck, we're screwed. We have nowhere to go because Lloyd's is the only game in town. So for Trump to come over the top, he literally just undid 300 years of British rule of the seas as far as the economy goes. In one fell swoop, he said, "Nope, we'll do it. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it." It's actually strategically, it's a brilliant move. It just decapitated the British, oligarchy imperialist rule over most of the world, and it was beautiful.
I mean, how more strategic of a blow can you give?
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to get too graphic, but I was very erect all day when he did that. I was like, holy shit. Literally said 25 words and just took the knees out from something that's really been wrong with the world for a long time. It was beautiful.
Here it is. Effective immediately, I've ordered the United States Development Finance Corporation to provide at a very reasonable price. Okay, he's going straight to the business end of it. I got a deal for you, okay, to provide at a very reasonable price political risk insurance and guarantees for the financial security of all maritime trade, especially energy traveling through the Gulf. This will be available to all shipping lines. If necessary, the United States Navy will begin escorting tankers through the Strait of Hormuz as soon as possible. No matter what, the United States will ensure the free flow of energy to the world. The United States' economic and military might is the greatest on earth. More actions to come. Thank you for attention to this matter. And then he's like, you know what? Let's go ahead and move one more carrier strike group into the Mediterranean, so we can go ahead and have a third sitting there.
But that's what's so beautiful. He's like, sure, we'll do the business side of it, but we're also going to involve the U.S. Navy for guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Trump is just not fucking around, man. He's just not.
No, and we talked about this a few weeks ago, but the largest air force in the world is the United States Air Force. The second largest air force in the world is the United States Navy. And the third largest air force in the world is the United States Marines.
Yep.
So it's like, we're literally inserting the second largest air force on the planet into that region, and just basically saying, "Look, we with one FA-18, you could patrol the Strait of Hormuz daily, 24/7. You could just every 8 hours just send an FA-18 up there. Anybody looks at a ship funny, you take it out. I saw a meme today. It was Trump graciously agrees to turn Iranian Navy into submarines because we sunk all of their ships, and that's what we'll continue to do. You want to keep fucking around? We're gonna just keep blowing the shit out of you.
Yeah,
you said inserting.
Hey, it's F.A.
Oh, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, the Hall of Famer.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. Cause all I do is win.
Hefe, how does it feel retiring undefeated as a basketball coach? Congratulations.
Thank you. It feels great.
Dude.
I was so nervous when it came right down to it. Like driving to the gym, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be fun. And then when I got there, I was like, oh shit. You know, it's a lot. If it was something I was really, you know, good at and knowledgeable at, it'd be, you know, just a bunch of high school kids. I'm okay with that.
Well,
But to go in
I
there-
think you've proven you are good at it. It was a gift waiting to be. For those of you who don't know, well, Hefe, I'm going to let you tell your story. I'm not going to tell it for you. I will say though, I got a sexual act performed on me today because I claimed that I knew the only undefeated coach in basketball. Yeah, I did. That's my best friend, is what I said.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's thank you, sir. I am saluting you right now.
Oh,
and
I clearly need to play that card. Holy crap.
Yeah.
oh, dude, work like a charm.
I'd say it's my pleasure, but obviously it's not.
Nope. It was mine. Definitely mine.
Okay, so quickly, my two sons are on the same basketball team at the YMCA. It's a high school aged league they're in, and one of them is a senior, one's a freshman. So they happen to be playing together, which is really cool. And they're in the playoffs, and
Playoffs.
Wow.
and their coach had some kind of a prior engagement he had to go to.
Because did he not think they were going to make the playoffs or what? How did you schedule that?
I don't know.
Oh, shit.
I got a thing. I got to go. I got a thing.
I gotta go.
He did say he was applying for a small college coaching job. So maybe that has something to do with it.
Man.
But
Find out what it is and put your own credentials in there and see if you can bag
Right?
that, because you clearly have more chops than he does now.
yeah. How many losses does he have? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, they called me in to fill in as coach of this team, and you and I used to play fits, 2-on-2, and we just fuck around, and I just never been that into basketball to get into all the semantics and all the X's and O's of it. So I was like, yeah, I mean, because my son, the way he put it is like, you pretty much handle substitutions, and it'll be pretty easy. It was not. Because I got to see, he was there for the first 3 quarters of the first game. So I was just sitting on the bench watching him, and I'm trying to absorb everything that he's doing, because I knew at some point I'd be on. Whether it was just for the fourth quarter of that game, or if they won, they move on, and that's all me. And I tried, but man, it didn't really take.
That's not true. That's not true. You're undefeated.
Yeah, I am
3 wins, man. 3 wins.
Yeah, so it was super fun, and they played out of their minds. It was great.
That's so cool.
Yeah, the first game they were pretty much evenly matched. I think it was like an 8-9 seed type thing. The second game, they were not supposed to win, and they beat the shit out of this team. And the final game, they were also not supposed to win. The team that they played beat the team that beat them a few weeks ago when I was watching them, 98-45.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They beat that team to get to the final today, and my guys schooled them. It was not even close.
You hear that,
Love it.
McShane? My guys.
It's already his guys.
They're his
He's-
guys.
it's his
Yes.
guys. They're his guys.
I
He's already
love
claimed them.
this. Oh, I love this for you, Hefe.
You stick your chest out there. You stick your chin out
Hell
there. Next
Hell
time
yeah.
when you walk out to the floor, I just want you to just play All I Do Is Win as you're walking
yeah.
out there, And just sit there and just when you hit the pit, just look around and go, yeah, this is my pit too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
What a cool bonding experience for you and your boys though, and you know your son's best friend was there, and I mean what a cool memory. That's going to be a core memory for them. That's great.
That's epic dadding 101.
Hell yeah,
fantastic
hell yeah.
job.
Yeah, my oldest is, not to brag for him, or myself, but he's quite a specimen. He is unbelievable out there, and he didn't pursue it in high school until now. So I'm hoping he can, you know, get on somewhere and kind of learn.
Walk on an ASU.
Walk on. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So he's so fast, and he can. I mean, he's just very, very athletic. He got all my good athletic genes, the few that I have, and all of his mom's side. And he just stacked them up, and he's gonna race somewhere.
So he's a lot like his Uncle Fitz then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, man, he must be really good.
Wow.
I'm totally fucking with you because I'm 5'8" and white, and I was never that great.
And Irish too, so it's
and Irish. I can fight, but that's about it.
Fight and drink.
Hefe, I know we're on a short timetable tonight just because of how things set up. Did you want to do the farm report now, or do you want to risk it and do it later?
We can squeeze it in now. It's a quick one.
All right.
All right. Where the hell did I put that page?
So I've got a video. You sent me a video. It's from Melee Mail, and it's this awkward. Looks like a snake that was bitten in half.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
On. Okay.
Yeah, this is the Hemeroplanus triptolemus, which is the sphinx moth caterpillar.
Yeah.
This thing is amazing. Its defense mechanism, it mimics a venomous snake to scare predators away. And Steve, why don't you bring up the video?
It's up.
Yeah, it's up. We're watching it.
Yeah.
That's a caterpillar?
That's a caterpillar.
That
Yep.
snake head looking thing is its tail, basically, the hind end of him. And his head is the other end. He does that. They puff up like air in there to make these features of a snake come out to scare away possible predators. That looks exactly like a snake, does it not?
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
How the hell did that happen? That's nature mimics things, but that's kind of weird.
I know. You see something like that and you go, come on, evolution did that.
Yeah.
Someone figured that out and made that in a lab or something. That is crazy. I have seen that caterpillar before. The moth that it turns into, I don't know if we can look that up, is one of the most gorgeous creatures on the planet. It's so amazing. But yeah, look at that fucking thing. It looks like a snake.
So it's called the Sphinx hawk moth caterpillar.
It's a giant moth too.
Every week you keep coming up with stuff that is just crazy.
I ran into this a few days ago, and I was like, I got to tuck that away. And then today was just such a big pain in my ass as far as, I had no time.
As far as winning?
As far as winning, yes.
Yeah.
So I didn't have time to draft anything up. So I was like, I'm going to fall back on that. We'll go with that because it's pretty amazing and pretty cool.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Pretty real quick. I doubt anybody within a million miles of me is going to listen to the show, but just in case, I want to shout out to my younger son too. My older son is, they're 3 years apart, and my younger one is a freshman, and he's not the physical specimen that his older brother is, but he's got a big heart, and he's gonna be just fine. He's gonna learn from his big brother, and he's gonna do some damage as well. So
that's awesome.
Nice.
fully support the Hefe boys and their future endeavors and in whatever. And you know what? I mean, it probably goes without saying, but sports isn't about making it to the NBA or making it. Sports teaches you actual life fucking lessons, and sometimes when you just put your ass out there and you put your ass on the line, sometimes you win, and you win games that you're not supposed to. And those boys are gonna. They got to be riding so high right now. So I'm so proud of them. I'm proud of you. Fucking undefeated. That's just what a cool thing.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Hey, Hefe, I just want to let you know that Iran called Iran's Revolutionary Guard called. They want to know if you want to be the Ayatollah now. They're looking for somebody. Since you're retired, we figured maybe you're available. I don't know.
They need someone undefeated.
they need a win bad.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I better play you out.
Yeah.
Well,
All
Hefe,
right.
we've been hanging with George here and talking about Iran. Anything popped up on your radar as far as Iran goes that you wanted to get into, or are you probably about ready to head back, right?
Yeah, I got to get back in. It's a mess. It's a shit show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Well
Yeah.
said.
Well, I'm going to say that I was happy to be on the show and experience Hefe. So
Nice.
that was
Nice.
awesome.
Excellent.
He's kind of like a hand grenade. He just comes in and we just kind of hope that we've got enough coverage to survive
I
the
love it.
blow.
It's great.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and not to correct you, George, but it's Hefe, the single
Undefeated?
winningest basketball coach in history. Yeah.
The single most winningest coach in basketball. Sorry, apologies. Apologies.
It's so great.
Okay, we're gonna have to do some AI work and make sure we post something online for you now. Which YMCA is it? Let me know and we'll make sure we get it out there for you.
All right, I'll be back in an hour if you guys are still on.
All right,
All right.
later, brother.
All right, see ya.
All right, fellas, how are those beers going? I think we're ready for beer 2.
Yeah, I'm about there.
I'm there.
You're there.
About halfway through our Iran pontification, I was like, I picked up my cup and I'm like, oh, it's gone already. So I'm drinking my side bitch now, which is great. One of my favorites of all time. So I'm happy there, but I'm very excited for my next beer. So how about you, McShane? Did you get through that?
Oh, I've finished my side bitch. I've finished the original one, and yeah, it's time for beer 2.
All right. Well, let's do it.
All right, beer 2. It's coming up. Beer 2. I got a hunch. It sounds like we've all decided that beer 2 is going to be. We're going to go big on beer 2. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, I'm stepping it up.
I mean,
right.
I didn't have anywhere to go any lower, but I'm definitely stepping it up.
Okay. You so took one for the team. That's the second time that she's gotten you with a no ABV.
And she just told me she wanted me to make it clear she did not do that on purpose. She just grabbed the beer because it had a cool label, and then as she put it in the fridge in the koozie, she realized, oh shit, it's a non-alcoholic. So it wasn't on purpose this time. The first time it was. This time it wasn't.
But you know what? More power to her to stick to her
like
convictions.
the second half of the show's gonna be different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, she's like, "Hey, I bought this. You're gonna fucking drink it."
All right, I am starting off with a collaboration between Trillium and Horus Aged Ales. This one is going to be a 10.5. It's called Double Go Shock. Imperial stout with vanilla, hazelnut, and coffee. So I will tell you, it pours very slowly out of the bottle. If you guys are up in the Massachusetts area, I highly suggest going to Trillium. I've been there. I've actually been to their locations. Fantastic. Almost kind of quiet. Like they're very understated. Very, very good beers though. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this one. You get a lot of hazelnut. This is heavy in hazelnut.
Love me some hazelnut being up here in Oregon.
Whoa, I was not ready for that. Oh my gosh. Holy.
We've got the paper down. I repeat, we've got the paper down.
Wow. Oh,
You okay?
no. What is going on there? This is it is very much a dessert beer. I did not expect it to be this much of a dessert beer. I was expecting an imperial stout, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of hazelnut, and then more coffee.
Is it too
It's
sweet?
easy. It's closer to a pastry stout. It is definitely an end of the night. It is heavy vanilla and very heavy milk chocolate. I'm not a big milk chocolate guy in my beers. That's what that is, though. It is for sure. Wow. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I just was not ready for that. I'm going to have to adjust to that. Wow. And it's got the hazelnut bitterness is there. The ingredients are on point for sure. I just was not ready for the amount of sweet that came along with that. Wow.
Beauty.
Whew. All right. George, what do you have over there for beer 2?
Beer 2. I kind of went your direction. I got what may be considered a dessert beer.
Okay.
This is from Delirium out of Belgium.
Ooh.
Oh, we
Okay.
know Delirium well. Yes.
All right.
good.
Yes. We're in a constant state of it.
Yeah,
I have
exactly.
I have the Delirium Red. And this one is a Belgian ale made with cherry and elderberry.
Oh, nice.
8% ABV. And it's supposed to have like a dark red color, light pink compact lacing head. I'm actually going to pour this one in a glass, of course.
Okay.
So go ahead and start that.
This one might surprise you. Yeah.
Sounds like
Yeah,
a swing
we both had this one, and yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
It's-
hoping I didn't make a mistake.
No, you didn't. It's a
No.
fantastic beer. It's a fantastic beer.
All right. Well, it does kind of look like candy in a glass to a degree.
Yep.
A little dark, but I'll try this out.
Yeah. Delirium, for everybody who's playing at home, Delirium's
shit.
a fantastic Belgian. Yeah. It's not.
Well, that is
It's-
interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Holy shit. It's like if a cherry Coke was a beer or a cherry Pepsi was a beer.
Yeah. There you
Yeah.
go. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
You get the sweetness of the Belgian yeast, and then you get that
Yeah.
over the top. Hey, this is a lot of cherry. And then
has a
it
little
kind of
sourness to it. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was just gonna say. It's got a little bit of sweet and sour to it. That's a fun beer.
I don't
And
hate
there's a little bit of nuttiness in there too. There's
Hmm.
almost like an almond extract flavor in there, real subtle, but it's there just to bring it back down to earth. Because otherwise, that thing's flying high.
See, I always
I'm gonna I think as this warms up, that'll probably come out more because I took it out of the cooler. It was a little cold, and then I think
Yeah.
there's a beer
Yeah,
that needs
yeah.
to be at a certain room temperature.
give it some time.
Yeah, I like it. I don't hate it. It's just was different than I expected. I didn't think it would be as sour as it is. It's not as it's not super sour, but it has a little bit of that tartness. It's
Yep.
really good though. I like it.
That it always reminded me of an amaretto sour.
Ah,
Yes,
that's a good
there you go.
description. That's a
There
good
you go.
description.
It always reminded me of that.
Hmm.
I had one of those the other night. I can't remember where I was. I had an amaretto sour the other night, and it was just I haven't had one of those in a decade, maybe.
Yeah.
And it was. I don't need to have another one for another decade, but it was
Yeah.
it was quite good.
100%.
I did enjoy it.
Well, I am enjoying
Awesome.
this. It's different than I expected, but I mean, I don't hate it. It's good. It is a good.
Good.
beer.
Nice.
That's why we do this. We obviously we never know what we're going to get.
Right?
Fitz, what do you have for beer 2?
Well, I actually know what I'm going to get with this one. Once every season, I have to pull out the Old Faithful and go with the Bourbon County from Goose Island. So I've got a Bourbon County. This is a 2024 bottling of Bourbon County.
I actually almost bought that one.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yep. It's such a fantastic beer.
fails. It never
No,
fails.
it doesn't need any introduction. It's a imperial stout. They let it sit in bourbon barrels for, I don't know, 900 years or something, and then you get to enjoy it. So just a really, really solid beer. So and every year is a little different. I remember the one I had last year, or the last time I had it, was really boozy. This is coming in at 14.8%. So I'm assuming it's going to be
That's wine.
pretty boozy also. But we'll see, because honestly, I'm smelling more of the chocolate and the caramel than I am the booze. I mean, it's there, but I'm not getting it super heavy. So we'll see.
The Goose Island line, they do a really nice job though. It doesn't get crazy. You can have one that's been cellared for a couple of years and it's just fine. So this will be.
Nope, that's that fucking thing's on fire.
Yeah, punches you.
You could you could run a Suzuki fucking motorcycle off of this.
Damn.
Oh
Wow.
Okay.
No kidding.
I've had those. I like them, but I typically pair them with a heavy cigar, so it kind of like balances
There you
out
go.
pretty well.
Yeah.
Dude, I was just gonna say, this makes me want my pipe.
Yeah.
I want to be smoking my pipe right now, but no, and it's not a meth pipe. Come on, all of you, get your head out of the fucking gutter. It's an actual tobacco pipe.
I think our listeners in chat figured you were smoking a different kind of pipe altogether, so it's all right.
Oh, hey. No, it's a very solid beer. It's coming in hot though. You could really.
Really?
I mean, oh yeah.
It didn't
you'll get
settle.
used
It
to
didn't settle down after 2024. It didn't settle down. It's interesting.
No.
Bourbon County, they do. We talk about our base beers like Epic, the Yeti line, and all
Big
those.
Bad
guys.
Baptist. Yep.
Yeah, Bourbon County, you get so many great offshoots. So you've got the base, and it's still super boozy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I typically love bourbon barrel aged beers, by the way. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why. Something about them, they kind of get more towards like wine country in terms of their ABV and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
But I like them, you know.
Yep.
I don't know why, but they do appeal to me.
It's a fine line between that and the barley one.
Yes.
Yeah. And it got to the point where, I mean, McShane and I were having one or two every week on the show because we just love them so much. And I was like, we got to branch out a bit and try some new stuff. But if I'm having some sort of weekend where I just need to like relax and chill the fuck out, that's my go-to every time.
Yeah. It's a good sipping beer too.
Yeah, exactly. Light a fire and pour yourself a nice bourbon barrel aged imperial stout.
Well, we've got to talk about who's in chat tonight. We've got John Jamingo has joined us. Bruce McGee is here, Road Rage and Weather Report. Duchess from Boomer Bunker. John and Duchess tonight are both from Boomer Bunker, by the way. And I got to tell you, their Thursday night, the Thursday episode was fucking hilarious. If you guys have not enjoyed Boomer Bunker yet, please go out and enjoy their show. Twice a week, show. Mondays and Thursdays. Thursday's show was unbelievably funny. And that got me home, woke me up. It was awesome. So please do. In Road Rage 101, every morning, Monday through Friday, you guys got to go check out the show. You're going to get John and Duchess and Bruce is on there. Bruce runs the show, and there's so many more folks to show up. And one of these days, I'm going to get in there. I'm actually going to get on and talk. But it's always right when I'm first starting work, and I'm trying to.
I dare you.
So it's kind of hard.
I dare you.
You dare me? All right, maybe.
I double
Monday.
dog dare you.
All right, all right.
And do it on speakerphone.
We'll work on it. Aaron from I Had to Say It Pod is here, but the problem is I don't know which one is Aaron. It's either I think it's not you. No,
I've been trying to figure that out too.
I think. All right, here's my guess.
Ballistic bitch slap.
Possible.
No, I think it's the third Ayatollah this week.
Yeah, that makes sense. That kind of tracks.
Okay. So
I know they're all sitting at home going, ha ha ha, these fucking idiots, they'll never know. But hey, we got to guess, right?
So then, okay, it's not about you, Jesse. Is that Lisa?
That was my guess, yes.
Okay, then ballistic bitch slap, I'm pretty sure that's going to be Justin.
Yep. I think we nailed it. That was my guess too.
Okay. All right.
And even if we're wrong, I don't care. We're going to edit it out if we're wrong because we're going to be right. Period.
That's right. We're just going to dub in the actual ones, we're going to be good there.
Always on
It's
point.
correct. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's at the end of the day. Let's just make sure
This
that
is
we're
our
right.
show. God damn it!
Yeah, I'm just a guest. I'm whatever
Right,
you gotta
yeah.
do.
All right, where are we going next, McShane? What do we got here?
I want to talk about how rugged and amazing the Democratic Party is becoming. This week, Pete Buttigieg in the Atlantic.
Rugged, amazing, and food. All right.
Oh God,
He's the Atlantic
This whole
poster
story.
boy. It's amazing. First of all, it's paywalled, so don't bother trying to look too hard at it. Don't pay them any money. Don't unless you want a laugh. But this is just the byline. Pete Buttigieg, the Harvard graduate, Rhodes Scholar, and McKinsey alum, now has a beard and a splitting maul. Can he convince America he's a man of the people? No, you can't.
No.
You can't.
You lost me at Rhodes Scholar. I mean, you've been in some of the most prestigious colleges around the planet and studied under some of the smartest people. But during that whole time, we were all out here grinding it and trying to make a fucking living and being real people and having car problems and relationship problems and kid problems. And so, no, you're never going to be a man of the people. Stop trying to do this. But between him and Waltz, which one's the douchier?
But that's what they're going for. They're running back the hits. They're trying to play that card again.
God.
And as long as there's a fake breastfeeding plate out there, picture of you, you're not going to be a man of the people. I'm sorry.
No.
You're not going to.
That's never going to happen.
It's just a fact.
I was waiting all week for the next headline to be that, Pete Buttigieg is in serious condition after a mall accident. He's going to hurt himself. If he actually has a mall, I mean, if you don't know what you're doing when you swing that, best case scenario is you pull your neck out and you can't turn to the right for 3 weeks. Worst case scenario, you cut your foot in half. Malls are not to be fucked with, and he's going to hurt himself. I hope that's on my bingo card.
John in chat, Pete has a manly butt plug.
Yeah.
Third Ayatollah this week, do they make butt plugs with beards attached? I refuse to Google that. Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh, he needs a butt plug that's in the shape of a mall.
Oh,
For those of you who don't know, a maul is basically a sledgehammer with an axe head on it, so that you can really get through big, heavy logs and really
heavy
split 'em.
wood. Heavy wood.
Heavy wood. He's not cutting that kind of wood. I'll tell you that.
Pete's maul is racially sensitive.
It's a face
Ballistic
merkin.
bitch slap. It's a face merkin. Oh my God. You know what?
Okay,
They were chat was really chill the first half of the show because we were just
quiet.
going for it. We were just going for it. Now it's their time. It's their time to shine.
Now it's on.
Gloves are off.
Because they're going to enjoy this. Here's the new Democrat senator running. I don't know even know what you want to call him. James Tallarico.
Yes.
The new Senate candidate. It is Senate, right? Or is it House? I think it's Senate.
I believe it's Senate. He took out Jasmine
Senate.
Crockett in her run.
Yeah. Who-
Jasmine
by the way,
Crockett. Gonna have to find a new vocation.
the Democrats and Republicans both rigged the election against Jasmine Crockett, and Trump started the Iran war to make sure that nobody went out and voted for her.
Right. Specifically her. Right.
Yeah, just her.
She's gonna have
This is
to-
why it was done.
Right.
And true story.
Which tracks?
That's what she said. It's cool.
Yeah. No,
So
that is what she said.
The guy who's going to be playing in the new part. Here's one of his tweets from May 8th, 2020. The only cure is diagnosing the virus within ourselves and taking dramatic actions to contain the spread. The first small step is proclaiming loudly, unequivocally, that Black Lives Matter.
Ugh.
Is he trying to bring that back?
Oh, well, that was from 2020. We're just.
Oh, I'm
we're
sorry, I
just,
didn't see that.
Oh, yeah.
This is the setup. Here he is. Let's see. This was this is one of his sermons. He's the Democrats are trying to position him as a religious leader and a liberal. Yeah.
He's a pastor or something.
Here's his take on here. Just we'll get into it.
Before we go further, I want to acknowledge that our trans community needs abortion care too.
All right, so dudes,
okay,
so hold on. Dudes who want to be women that aren't women but are dudes need to have abortions for babies they can't have anyway.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Want to make sure I was getting that.
Here's one more. Here's one more. This is here's I think he's at the state assembly or as a rep.
I want us all to be aware of is that modern science obviously recognizes that there are many more than two biological sexes. In fact, there are 6, which honestly, Representative Hefner surprised me too. Surprised me too, because I am not well versed in this issue area. I'm not a scientist. I'm a politician, a lot worse than a scientist. I want us all to be aware.
Yeah, there are 6, but 3 of them are male and 3 of them are female. You fucking moron. Oh God!
They keep doubling down on this. They keep doubling down on it. They have to do this. They can't help themselves.
Yeah, because otherwise they have to admit they were wrong.
But what else do they have?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they don't win on policy.
No, they have no policy. They don't have any policy.
The policy is that there are 6 sexes and that Black Lives Matter.
And attacking Trump isn't working. So I mean,
right. Real quick, going back to the BLM thing. Did you hear there was a case back in, I believe it was 2022. They had this BLM curriculum that they were teaching to second graders in drumroll, Minnesota, and this little girl, they had to, second graders, okay, so 7, 8 years old, they had to go through this whole curriculum, and at the end of it, they had to write a short essay about what they learned. Okay, this little girl, she titled her essay that all lives matter, and her argument was, I've learned that it's not okay to put other people down, and that we all need to be treated as equal. Well, the school suspended her.
Of course.
For having, it wasn't about Black Lives Matter. You made it about everybody, and that's not okay. So they suspended her. So the parents, and I love this approach, they sued the school district for $2.3 million for what happened to their daughter and the psychological whatever. But their argument was, if you're going to teach this curriculum to this age group, we know by brain development that they are free thinkers. They haven't been put in a box yet. They're exploring new ideas. They're exploring new ways to see the world. And you just squashed that in our daughter. That was their stance, and they won.
That's perfect.
They won this week.
Good.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Good. Yeah.
So $2.3 million in damages plus, but at the end of the day, who's paying that? The taxpayers.
It's not the teachers union that's okaying it.
No. And so it was a win, but it was also like, Jesus, when are we going to put an end to the fucking madness? It's crazy.
And the fact that a second grader wrote that, was able to come to that conclusion. And
shouldn't we be fostering that? Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, in and of itself, how can you not see how can you not see that teaching that only one skin color is worthy, right, of getting any attention or any appeasement is not a racist teaching in and of itself.
Exactly.
Well, it's amazing. Yeah. But that's fundamental Marxism.
Yeah, going back to that.
And that's again one of their platforms. That's all they have.
Are we going to see legislation that comes out that makes that illegal? Are we going to finally start seeing that kind of stuff? Because I feel like we might be at that point.
I think some states are kind of going down that road. Yes.
I think that should be the case. But you know what I want to see? Let's just be honest. I want to see the ability for the parents to legally call these board members out and fucking get in a ring and beat the shit out of them.
Yes.
Sorry.
Fight Club.
I think that's what needs to happen, because it's getting to the point where I don't think the state should have so much control over how you parent your child and what you can
No.
teach and pass down to your child. Like
Nope.
it's getting. I mean, and Fritz, I mean, you know way more than I would in this. I mean, doing being what you may do, but at the same time, just saying it's like, dude, how is it acceptable that we've come to this to where it's okay to manipulate our children this way and literally turn them into this army of libtards to move forward? And I don't hate Democrats, but I mean, there's a difference between a Democrat and whatever this
absolutely.
is.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
This
absolutely.
is you have to now call them liberals. They're not Democrats. And I honestly,
it's
George,
worse than that, though, Fitz. It's worse than that, though. It's not even liberals. They're so far left. It is straight up socialists.
Yeah, I know. It is.
Because when you throw in the manipulation piece, that's what makes things go sideways. It's no longer free thinking.
Yeah, and you nailed it, George, earlier in the show. You said, I mean, this has been a slow, deliberate re-education of the populace. Where does that start? With the kids.
Yeah.
And now they've just been pushing it further and further down into the ages. Now we got second graders learning that their skin color isn't okay, but those people's is. I mean, we're at a critical mass point here, I feel. When you're pushing that down into kindergarten, first, second grade, we've got to stop this now, because otherwise we're going to have some brainwashed. We already do have some brainwashed idiots, but it's only going to be worse.
Yeah, and no, I'm going to point out, if you guys are cool with this, I'm going to point out what John Domingo wrote. He said the teachers' cartel is the next fight, and I agree with that. I mean,
yeah, I think so too.
They act like a mob, right?
They are.
They absolutely are. And
I've got
honestly,
firsthand experience with it, and they are. That's 100%.
And I don't want to be straight up anti-union, but most of the unions act like that now. Mm-hmm. And they are very much, and the NEA is absolutely corrupt. They are absolutely corrupt. You want to see?
Sorry, go ahead. Look, all I was going to say is, when you had something like the national, the auto workers union,
mm-hmm.
I mean, those guys were literally, they're destroying their bodies for very little pay. They needed to unionize in order to get something out of destroying their bodies, that physical
Absolutely.
labor.
Yes.
Teachers, that's not what teachers unions are there for.
No, it's a political.
They are strictly. Thank you. They are strictly there for political action, and that's not okay. Yep.
Well, and it's political action, and it's funding, and it's just they're patting their own pockets. They're not. Nothing goes back to the kids. The kids are just ATMs at this point.
100%.
Well, yeah. I mean, a school's funding is based on how many students are attending, right? And whichever districts they're in. But to your point, what you were saying is, it's not just the teachers' unions; it's all unions in education. I mean, they all have a political arm.
Yeah,
and it's like you pay your dues in, and it's all about, great. Now we're going to represent you with your money in the political arena, and we're going to back candidates that you may not even agree with or care about.
Yep.
And it's just sad and ridiculous.
Well, and a lot of those unions are mandatory. So you may be a very conservative individual who wants to go teach high school math, and you have to pay these dues to this union that then elects or sponsors this highly liberal, highly, fuckface senator that's now representing you that you helped pay for that you don't want.
So they don't even get a choice.
No.
Huh.
No, a lot of them are mandatory. Not all, but a lot of them are. In Chicago, it's mandatory.
Yeah, and there's a movement to make that illegal. The mandatory part of it, but I don't know that it's coming fast enough. I don't think it is. If I had kids that were small, I would take them out of school. I wouldn't let them anywhere near school at all at this point.
Yep. No, I mean, totally agree.
Do you guys know that if charter schools have the ability to teach us? No, it's all state curriculum regardless.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to let you finish your sentence. I thought you were going to ask if charter schools have like unions and stuff, but no. Finish your sentence.
Basically, I was asking if you know that if charter schools are able to teach a different curriculum, or they still have to teach the state mandated curriculum.
No, they can. I mean, there are certain metrics. They call them like sort of these benchmarks, these minimums that by the end of kindergarten, a child would have to know these, 53 items or whatever it is. How to count to 20, how to know same and different. I mean, these are like the base. And so as long as you're staying within those guardrails, you can teach. I mean, Catholic schools can teach Catholicism. They just also have to make sure that these other metrics are met. And so that's where charter schools, private schools, can really make a difference. The problem is they get pricey, and they're talking about in a lot of states taking away the vouchers for private and charter schools. So now you won't even get any. I mean, if you're a poor family who wants your kid in Catholic school, you're literally going to have to depend on the charity of others, because you won't be able to get any state credit for it. So, I mean, not a good place we're headed.
But if that happens, though, you're going to have to see a change in what the entrance fee is for kids to go to those schools.
You would hope.
I mean, it should balance out. It's almost like college. Okay, you're going to stop the funding. Well, some colleges are going to go away. It's no longer big business, and we're also going to have to dial back on what the tuition is, because not everybody's going to be able to afford to get in there. But we still want to stay open and be an actual institution.
Right.
Unless they change their
respond to the market, basically, right?
I mean, ideally.
Yeah.
I mean, at Adam Smith it, but we'll see. I do like the idea of the charter schools. I come from a family that hates them, and they're wrong. But you've got your traditionals, you've got your new edgier ones and stuff like that. Some that just do science. You've got sports ones at this point that it's just a matter of finding what's going to work best for your kid, and then ride herd on what the curriculum is to make sure your kid isn't being polluted.
Right.
It's funny that we don't have real freedom in education. I get the standards, like a basic minimum level of education.
Sure. Right.
But you should be able to have your child educated in whichever fashion you want. And it's just sad that they're taking that choice away from parents.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. And I mean, back to what John said in chat. I mean, the next big fight is with those teachers unions, because guess who's pushing for taking away the vouchers for charter schools and private schools? It's the teachers unions.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they want all the kids back in public school, because they're losing every year. They're losing enrollment all the way at the elementary, all the way through high school level. They're losing enrollment. They cannot get butts in seats. And so what their answer is, and this is, I hope everyone's sitting down, and I'm just going to say this and we can move on after this, but their answer is they're just going to qualify more children for special ed, get more IEPs, because they get more money for that. So now basically everyone's on a fucking IEP. They get more money per student. So now, because they can't get kids to come back, they're just going to charge more per kid or get more funding per kid. And
I've actually seen that
ridiculous.
trend at one of the districts in my area. Yeah.
Yep. So there you go.
Wow.
A program like mine that wants to basically eradicate all special ed. I mean, unless you have a physical disability or an actual, you're diagnosed MMR or something, we can take care of everything else, literally. And districts they don't want it, because that means less money for them. And that's the bottom line. And it fucking sucks.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna play this clip. This is a student that had 3.87 GPA, and she can't read past a first grade level.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yes.
Yeah. This was. Yeah.
I was happy. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm graduating. I'm finally made it.
4 years later, though, she feels like it was all a time of broken promises. Do you feel like they prepared you for life?
Not at all.
McKenna says the academics for her at Linwood High were hard, but she graduated with a 3.87 GPA. That's despite finishing her senior year reading at a first grade level. Did you feel like you were learning anything?
Not really, no. Like, I should have earned that diploma, not just something that really got me nowhere.
After graduation, McKenna planned to attend the Edmond School District's vocational program that transitions special needs students into independent life. But because she received a diploma, She couldn't. That program would have been free. Instead, she had to enroll in a similar program at Bellevue College at a cost of more than $40,000 per year.
McKenna got a diploma, but it feels more like a participation trophy in a lot of ways.
McKenna's family is now suing the Edmond School District, claiming benevolent discrimination. Her attorneys argue, well-intentioned or not, the district should have withheld that diploma until McKenna completed its vocational program.
In letting her kind of pass along and giving her these grades, and then in giving her this diploma, which shut the door on her transition services access, they actually caused her harm.
The parents should not be off the hook in this. There's no way that she should have made it that far and not be able to fucking read. But this is exactly what we're talking about.
Unbelievable. And I listen, the special ed's credo right now is if there's a problem, then we're going to make accommodations, which translates to we're going to change the world around this child to help them through. And listen, I know there's some kids out there that need a little bit longer to take tests, or they need the words bigger on the page because they have vision problems, whatever. I get it. But that's not the vast majority. The vast majority is we're going to have a one-on-one aid in there because the child can't focus. I mean, let's think about the absurdity of that.
Well,
and so what happens is then these kids, and this poor girl is a perfect example. They get to the point of being an adult, legally 18 years old. You're an adult. And now they're absolutely skillless. They're absolutely clueless. And we expect them to go out and be contributing members to society when they have literally no fucking clue what's going on.
So, and also, I in the videos playing, I don't know if it was you, Fitz, or McShane that said, there it is about the money. But regardless, in my dealings with my business, okay, I deal with a lot of schools. And all I know is if I put a quote in, and it's any other department, it's a back and forth him-haw pushback.
Yep.
If it has to do with special ed, they have
Green-lighted.
They got money.
You bet.
Yeah, it's like, oh, whatever you want. Whatever you need. Can you add anything else? Can you make it more technical? Can you do this? Can you do that? It's like, and I'm noticing these patterns. I'm like, this is crazy. You know, how they're getting all this money for that specific department while all the other departments are struggling for finance.
So when you take the market philosophy, if that's where the biggest hole is, where do you think people are going to be putting most of their time and effort? Into the biggest hole. I can get funding over here, so I'm going to reword this entire grant. I'm going to reword my entire teaching philosophy that I care about and I cater to, and I do things for this group of students that you're going to throw the most money at. So and it's
in the
disgusting.
Chat, not to cut you off. I apologize for that. But in the chat, Third Ayatollah, I think I'm starting to figure out who this is. IEPs don't follow you into the real world.
Exactly.
So explain IEPs. I think that probably you could, or if anybody could. What exactly is that? Because I hear it all the time. Like, what exactly is an IEP?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what it's supposed to be, and then I'm gonna tell you what it actually is. Okay, because like most things in the world, they sell you a big bucket of lies with IEPs. IEP is an individual education plan or program. Doesn't matter what the P stands for. Different school districts call it different things, and it's intended to say this child is not being successful in the classroom, so they need individual supports. Sometimes, yeah. So it's a individual person that comes in twice a week that helps them through their social emotional problems, or it's somebody who's there all the time to help them stay organized, or they just get pulled out because they're having trouble reading, and so they take them into a class and they give them. They're reading at a second grade level and they're a fourth grader, so they give them packets at a second grade level so they can hopefully catch on to read. Which I'm not going to get on that soapbox, but we could do a 5-hour show on just that. Susan knows. So IEPs are intended to individually help an individual student succeed in the classroom. Now, I'm going to tell you what they actually are, which is a big load of bullshit. I know that's a surprise. What happens is if you have, let's say on your IEP, you have the diagnosis of autism. So autism is a very broad spectrum. Some people are very high functioning. Some people are very low functioning. Some people are verbal. Some people are not. Some people can read. Some people can't. Everybody with autism gets lumped in that same group and they all get the same service. So it's not individual at all. It's like saying all black people can't swim, so we have to give all black people swimming lessons. And that's not true. A lot of black people can swim. But sorry, you're black. You have to do this lesson because we're assuming that you're all the same. And so everybody who can't read gets the same fucking packet. Everybody who can't math gets the same fucking packet. Doesn't matter if their problems are all different
Completely
and
different.
and present themselves. It would be like if you went into the doctor with a cough and he's like, hey, you're going to go over here in this group with cancer patients because all those people over there have lung cancer. And you're like, no, look, it's just seasonal allergies.
Cough.
That's crazy.
It's insanity. And they keep throwing more and more money at it. You have got classrooms in this country where there is a teacher, an assistant teacher, and 4 aides in there with different kids. You're talking about 6 adults for 25 kids. How much money is that going into that one classroom? Just in wages.
And those are the paras, correct?
Paras, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And they don't
Crazy.
pay those people. They don't generally pay those people very high, and they also don't give them great benefits. They treat them as like 3/4 employees or whatever, so they can save money on the district side.
They treat them like
But
babysitters. They treat them like babysitters.
Yes, but then,
Let's call it what
they charge for a full-time person that's with
Yes,
that
they
child from the special ed. So
Crazy.
the district's making a shit ton of money off these people and the kids and the parents, and also they're throwing in the DEI bullshit and you know what? We can take you over here and ask you if you really want to be a boy because you're a girl. I mean, it's madness in this. So going back, McShane, what you said, if I had small children right now, I would not let them within 5 miles of a public school right now.
That's fucking crazy, man.
It's madness.
By the way, I just want to point out, I was waiting for the Gavin Newsom tie-in somewhere when you were. I was waiting for it. Didn't come out, but I'm sure it will.
Oh, chat got it. Chat nailed it.
I'm sure.
nailed it.
Yep. All right.
Yep. Let's see. Third Ayatollah this week. I thought it was all black people can't read. Gavin Newsom said so. Thank you.
Man,
Yes, he did. He did say that. That was Gavin Newsom, not me. Gavin Newsom.
Yep.
Oh, well, speaking of the Supreme Court this week said that it is not okay for California to not let parents know when their kids want to transition. This actually had to go to the SCOTUS. They took care of business, and of course, it was 6-3.
You had some dissenters.
It was handled.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They had to go to the Supreme Court to get that ruling.
Right?
I mean, really?
Oh my God. That's one of those where you go, common sense just isn't common anymore.
No,
but the Supreme Court had to prove it. Jesus.
Right? I'm just glad the Supreme Court was willing to prove it. Because at this point, everything, we're no longer talking about the Constitution. It's political football. It's what can I do for my political, my socialist angle with those, especially those 3 dissenters.
It's a team sport.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
It's a team sport. You know,
red team, blue team, but there's no America team.
No,
right.
Unfortunately.
Right. Canada. Congratulations to Canada. They've done a phenomenal job euthanizing people.
Dude, they're killing it. Oh man, that's my second good one of the night.
You were waiting to drop that all
I was like, please get to Canada. Oh, go ahead.
Canada has now reached a level of euthanization of people, which is they've actually doubled the number of people that they've offed versus dogs.
Oh, God.
16,425 people have been euthanized under their MAID Act, as opposed to 7,644 dogs that have been put down.
Okay. Is that the assisted suicide?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
That's the MAID program that they have, where you could have a terminal illness or depression.
Yeah. Well, hey, Dr. Robert Malone was on Rogan recently, I think like middle of February or something. I just now listened to it. And it was his first time back since the like bombshell interview that he gave about, the mRNA vaccines, and he owns the patents on all that, and he was telling everyone why they're fucked. Anyway, it was his first time back, and he actually got into this, and he kind of broke it down. And what's sad is, just like I kind of broke down that IEP special ed is an economic issue, he broke down why this is a straight up economic issue, particularly when you're in a socialist healthcare. Great interview. I mean, go listen to it because he really broke it down well. But basically, these older people, or these people who are ill, or these people who have mental illness, they end up draining the system faster than anyone else. So it's cheaper to actually off them than to provide them care. That's what it boils down to right there. You're literally in the matrix right now. And if it's cheaper to just dump you and start over, they'll do it.
Oh, okay. So quickly here, this is an assisted suicide, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Let me correct myself real quick. Canada is set to pass a grim milestone in its medically assisted suicide program, with a total of 100,000 citizens projected to be euthanized by the government before its 10th anniversary on June 17th. So that's over the last decade.
That's crazy. So, but still, okay. So you said, based on the interview, that you're talking about Malone. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So he was saying that this is an economic issue, and I can see how that argument could be, when you're talking about the medical industry.
Right.
But I think the bigger issue here is a societal issue. Like, why are Canadians choosing to take the path of offing themselves instead of dealing with their shit?
I agree, and Dr. Malone was not arguing that it's only an economic issue. He's saying that as Canada or Britain or any of these other areas, these other countries that have socialized medicine, they're looking at the bottom line. They're running out of money, plain and simple. But no, Dr. Malone was like, this is absurd. Like, there is a lot of help, particularly for the people with mental illness. There's a lot of help that they can receive and actually recover from depression. It's things like this. And Canada's answer is like, that sounds really expensive. Let's just how about we inject this needle and you go to sleep and never wake up? How's that sound?
Oh, so they're manipulating people by saying, well, this might be the solution for you. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is crazy. This could have been all fucking fixed if they just would have became the 51st state. Just saying.
Hey, I'm still hoping.
At this point, we're trying
still hoping.
We need to save Alberta.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw this into the middle of the pool here. You guys can kind of play with it. So it's been well documented that China has a hell of a big organ market.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
From prisoners,
Canada,
by the way.
Yeah. And
hey, you didn't hear it here first here. Yeah. Yeah.
Canada is well backed by China now.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
I'm just gonna say 100,000 people. That's a lot of organs to move.
Yep.
That's 100,000 livers, man. That's 200,000 lungs. That's crazy. That's crazy numbers.
I'm not gonna say what's driving that demand, but
yeah. Well, dude, hey, are you gonna jump down that rabbit hole?
I don't know. We could.
Woo!
Oh, where's this show going?
Yeah, exactly. That's something we should definitely get into at some point, though. But
so we haven't done a lot of research in this, obviously, but I'm curious about how much money is made off of this, because I'm sure somebody's having to pay for it. It's obviously government subsidized. I think there's a lot to look into with that, and maybe that's another show in all of itself. But
yeah,
thank you,
it's
Justin. So many boobs, dude.
Well, you figure if half of them are women, that's 50,000 people. They each have 2 breasts. That's
a lot of boobs. You're right.
I mean, that's some mathing after I've had a 14.8% beer. And what's interesting is, yes, there's money to be made, which I'm sure is a very dark, like really awful hole to jump down. But I think really the discussion is how much they save. Because Dr. Malone was saying, for some of these like cancer patients and Alzheimer's and things like that, where it can literally last for a decade or more.
Right.
They're saving millions per patient by just saying, let's end it now.
here's your numbers. Savings arise because MAID often shortens expense end-of-life periods. A 2017 study in the Canadian Medical Association's journal estimated potential annual net healthcare savings of $34.7 million to $138.8 million across
Jesus
Canada.
Christ.
So, all right. So our morality as human beings now has a price tag.
Yes, it
Oh,
does.
absolutely.
You bet.
And the decisions
You
based
bet.
on basic moral principles are measured against the economic implications of decisions.
You bet.
Interesting. So that's where we're at now, right? We're gonna Mad Max
Yeah.
this motherfucker. Is that where we're going?
I was just gonna say, like,
what the fuck?
which movie are we in now? Like, what
Yeah,
stage?
seriously.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Wild
It's-
shit.
Well, at least we won hockey, so fuck them. Whatever.
Yes. Oh, George, bringing it in hot.
Whose sport is it now? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And if they hadn't won, their suicide rate would be much lower. But here we are. Sorry.
Yeah. I wonder what the jump was.
I'm sorry for contributing to that. I mean, we're
that was
perfect.
perfectly,
Absolutely perfect.
absolutely on point.
Oh,
man.
Oh,
What
okay.
next?
So let's look at this Ben Affleck thing. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it got my attention. Let's see where
Yeah.
this goes.
So I think it was 2 weeks ago, Ben Affleck goes on Joe Rogan with his buddy Matt Damon, and they're talking about their production house and how they've gone out of their way to make sure that it's a family type thing. And they've structured it so that as long as their last movie that went out, RIP, or RIP,
Yeah.
as long as they had levels to how much there were going to be bonuses paid, and the bonuses weren't just paid to him and Matt Damon; they were paid to the whole cast, the whole crew, which was really unique. But and depending on how many views they got, the bonuses were bigger. Sounds good, right? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds
Awesome.
that's the best part of socialism right there.
Yeah. It's great for everyone.
Sorry.
This week, it was reported Netflix has acquired Interpositive, a startup founded by Ben Affleck that makes AI-powered tools for filmmakers. The system builds AI models from a film's dailies to assist with post-production tasks like color, relighting, special effects, keeping filmmakers at the center of the process. He just wiped out the guys that do everything behind the camera.
Half the crew.
I mean, all the
Easily.
people that make the film what it is in the post production. Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, and listen, I mean, on the one hand, like the world is changing, and we all have to adapt to new technologies and things like that. And, I mean, movie making in the 70s was very different than it was in the 20s, right? And likewise, movie making in the late, 20 teens was very different than it is now. We have to be able to adapt. But to your point, McShane, the fact that they went on Rogan and laid out this like utopian, movie set, and we share all the profits, and it's like the best of all worlds. That was the part that got me, because it was very, I won't say over the top, but they had an agenda when they went on there. They had something to say.
Yes, they did.
A message to put out, and then we find out the truth of it. Well, that's because there's only like 7 people on your entire fucking crew, because everything else is being done by AI.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So he wipes out an industry with this.
Yep.
But let's talk about this. So I'm going to go to a post that I responded to. This was actually from Kerbin. You guys know who he is.
Yep.
And he reposted this. It was Anthropic CEO warns company is no longer sure cloud AI isn't conscious.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
It
this is where
showed.
we're at.
All right. Look, it showed empathy. Okay. I mean, it showed empathy. It did. Because I dove into that one because it scared me. It showed empathy, but again, these are large language models, LLMs, and I think it showed empathy because that's what other people had done in this similar situation. I don't think we're achieving, AGI, like general intelligence. I think look, if you want to know how far away we are from AGI, from artificial general intelligence, just go and ask Grok, which is one of the leaders. Go ask it about if President Trump is a good president, or if Kamala Harris would have been a great candidate, or ask it any of these things that we sort of are like, all right, Kamala Harris is an idiot, and it will come back with what the majority of people out there are saying. We're not close to AGI. I'm sorry.
No, I get the argument, okay, because AI at this point, how it's been used, is nothing more than a data aggregator. It's going to go out, search based on your queries, and give you what it thinks you want in terms of what you're asking. But the question is, are we sure we can contain AI from evolving?
No,
I don't think we're sure of it.
We 100% can't. I'm saying when it happens, we won't know for 2 years. It'll keep pretending it's stupid, or it'll keep giving us answers we want, and in the background, it'll be doing some crazy shit so that when it wants to pull the plug, it'll just do it, and we'll have no control over any of it.
It'll be suggesting troop movements and new classes and
what movie was that? Terminator? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, actually, if you look at a great movie that's never really discussed, and I've seen it several times. It's Eagle Eye, and it has the crazy kid,
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf, yeah. It has him, and the super hot girl is they get thrown into this whole thing, and Eagle Eye is this AI that basically determines that the United States government it is no longer fit for office, so it comes up with this plot to assassinate everybody in Congress, and really well done movie. And I think like that's the kind of thing, like no one will actually know how this is happening, and then all of a sudden you'll just realize it's too late, and now some kid blows a flute and blows up Congress. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, an underrated movie. I think that should be on people's watch list, because it does touch on exactly what we seem to be going through with AI at this point.
Yes.
And how quickly itself is adapting and evolving. I mean, there's still guardrails right now, because I have friends who are computer scientists, and some of them are very involved in AI. And they'll say right at this moment, they believe for quite some time, it's still going to need human involvement. You're going to need someone to basically say yes, no, and put up or remove guardrails. But at some point, we're talking about something that is thinking quicker, moving faster, that's going to find a workaround or come to a conclusion through its programming that if I do this, I can get to this next level. And that's what's scary, is we don't know when it will get to that point.
No, it'll jump to God level, and we won't be able to stop it. I mean, it'll just have already done it, and then we'll realize that it happened, and it's too late.
So last week, Anthropic said that we're not going to play ball with the government. We're not going to work with the what the Department of War wants as far as guidelines go. And the Department of War came out and said, you know what, you're a supply chain risk now. We're done. You're not going to do everything we want you to do. We're out. Meanwhile, Anthropic can't keep anybody there for security.
No,
their security people are like, I gotta go. I'm out.
I don't want anything to do with this. Yeah,
too much risk.
Yes,
crazy.
Yeah, I think there are some scary stuff going on out there. I just don't think we're as close as the fearmongers want you to think we are. I think my prediction is the sun's going to pop off way before we get to AGI.
Possibly.
Yeah.
While we're on that subject, though, I want to just bring this up real quick.
Oh God, you're actually going to talk about the story?
Is this
Oh,
the brain
shit.
cells that were?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
200,000 brain cells were put in a petri dish.
Oh.
And basically,
Human
what ended
brain
up
cells,
happening?
by the way.
Human brain cells.
Yeah.
In a striking demonstration of, and you guys can go to razorwirenews.com for this. In a striking demonstration of biological computing, Australian startup Cortical Labs has successfully trained approximately 200,000 living human brain cells grown on a specialized microchip to play the iconic 1993 first-person shooter Doom. The achievement, announced in late February 2026 via company video, builds on the team's earlier 2022 experiment where a larger cluster of neurons, around 800,000 to 1 million, learned the simple paddle game of Pong.
All right, fuck it, cyborgs. We're done. I don't know. I don't know.
Look.
I'm out. I don't know.
the philosophical, and I am not a trained philosopher. It's my minor in college, philosophy. So I know a little bit. I'm not a trained philosopher, but the philosophical implications of the fact that you can take human brain cells and have it do something that another person can do, which, by the way, this calls into question everybody who was like, I fucking rocked at Doom. Like, well, dude, you literally needed 200,000 brain cells. So that's not that big of an achievement. Like, go play some basketball. But the philosophical implications of the soul and are these cells alive? Are they dead? Are they thinking? Are they just, are we just computers then running a program just like these brain cells are? I mean, you can absolutely have an existential crisis off of this one story.
But this is your AGI. This is your AGI on top of the.
All right,
marry those two now.
You know what? Fuck you. I don't like you anymore.
This is why we do it. This is why we did it. This is your AGI. And we're training it off of one of the greatest video games ever, fucking Doom.
Oh, it's a great game.
Doom was amazing. Remember Wolfenstein?
It's a great game.
Oh,
yes.
Wolfenstein. Oh, yes. That was the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, so I'll play ball, you Fitz. Here's the deal.
Okay.
So now you're asking, what is a soul? And what makes a human? What makes us who we are? Like, we're never going to be able to answer that question. So is it contained to the physical body? Is it beyond that? But in this particular example, there's still physical flesh here. There's still an organism, a biological organism. So now we're going to ask, does a soul only exist with the physical form? Does it extinguish once all physical form of humanity or the human body is dead or gone? That's the question.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, and and like even deeper than that. So on the one hand, you can argue this thing has a soul, right?
Yes.
Because the soul is tied to a right. On the other hand, you say, well, no, look, it's just a computer program running against another computer program. So then, okay, theoretically, a complicated enough computer system could think it's alive. It could come up with the concept of the soul and think that it has some sort of role to play in the universe, which is, us humans.
Or hear me out. Hear me out. I know, right?
Okay.
Where's this going? Hear me out. Soul exists, but it manifests itself in physical, biological form. Now, with what was just presented, is this possibly the way we insert a soul into a machine?
Yep.
Oh,
I'm right there with you.
And then
I'm right there with you.
Then
Yes.
immortality and yeah.
So now
I don't
we're
know.
Johnny Mnemonic, right?
I mean, look,
Yes.
I was just going to say there's been lots of movies. I mean, Star Trek Next Generation tackled this very well with Data. I mean, there was a lot of episodes that had to deal with his sentience, whether or not he had a soul, his undeniable intelligence, but did he actually have the same rights as humans? So if you want a masterclass in this, go back and watch Star Trek TNG.
2001. 2001 A Space Odyssey. Will I dream it?
Right.
I actually watched that not that long ago again. It's like, wow. It's almost timeless because it's like we have not gotten past exactly what they were presenting in that movie.
No, the issues are the same.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we're still dealing. We're just getting more sophisticated and making the problem more complicated, but we haven't solved the problem.
but it's getting much more real every iteration.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, this one was wild because number one, so you watch this video and the fucking 200,000 brain cells or whatever, which by the way doesn't. I mean, it covers like a eighth of an inch, not even.
Yeah, but still, the fact that they pulled that off.
I know, and it's making the same mistakes I made when I was learning to play. So now I'm like, Jesus Christ, how dumb am I?
Right?
What is going on? Yes.
But when you start thinking, okay, so that's only 200. That's only 200,000 cells, neurons. And Hefe, given your history, please jump in here with cells.
Yes,
when you start talking about hundreds of thousands, millions of, tens of millions, we're talking like when you get a brain in there.
Yeah.
Well, limitation, it might just be the 200,000 that you stuck in the petri dish.
Right. So going back to George's sort of, baseline hypothesis, how many cells does it take before you start having emotions, before you can have a soul?
Can you imagine
200,000, a million, a billion? I mean, what is it? What's the number?
Gentlemen, may I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Sure.
We're getting very philosophical. How good's your beer right now?
Oh,
I've got a side beer. I've got the beer 2 is almost gone. I've got my side beer, which is actually called Hell, by the way. It's going well too.
Dude, that Bourbon County, it's always done this for me, which is initially when it hits bottom, it starts to like kick my ass. And then I fight it, right? I'm fighting back. I'm like, no, I'm not drunk. I'm okay. And then I'm now at this point where I'm just like, I'm just going to talk about everything to everybody.
You're fully committed.
Happy. Yes, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm running high. It's all good. So it's going really well.
I was actually kind of like done with mine a while back. I was drinking this damn thing too fast.
Good beer.
Yeah.
That's why we waxed philosophical here. We all got to kind of feeling buzz.
I love diving into this stuff. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Hefe, we saved a really great story for you when you came back.
Yes.
We're happy you got here. You're going to need to return your chocolate boner syrup. It's been recalled. It contains Viagra in it, and that's not. It wasn't approved by the FDA.
Will they accept empty bottles?
Yes, I think you get a full refund no matter how much of it you used.
Okay.
You know what? I tried.
How many empty bottles, Hefe?
Yeah, right. What are we talking here?
How many?
Hefe just walking around. Hey, Hefe, you got some chocolate syrup on the side here. Oh yeah, I know. That's so I can keep a heart on all day.
Yeah.
I got it.
It's the only dealer that brings boner syrup with them into the pit. All right, hey, hold on a second. Some guys need no-dos. Some guys need 5-hour energy. He just goes straight to the boner syrup.
Well, I just love that this whole syrup, the whole concept was like, it's a syrup with some aphrodisiacs in it, some chocolate, some other things, and it'll help you feel more amorous. And you can also put it on your pancakes. Like, it was very innocent. If you look at the bottle, it's just like very. And then they find out they were putting Viagra in it.
I want to point out the logo was two fuzzy bears.
It is. One of them has the other one pinned.
Yeah.
Face down, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah.
I like
raw dogging
and I like that it says single dose. Like, I'm sure Hefe was getting the triples and quadruples, but this one was just a single dose. Oh God, so good.
Hefe, since you're here, this is a story we've been trying to get to for a couple of weeks, but we've threatened to do this for a while, putting a pair of Meta glasses on you and letting you go to town.
Oh yeah.
Meta AI glasses. So these are the glasses that you can like record when you're walking around. Because we thought it'd be really funny to see what a day in the life of like Hefe was. But now Meta is actually going to add in that you're going to get like bios on people when you're walking around. Like you're going to be out in the public and you're saying, oh, well, that's Jane and here's her Facebook tag.
I don't love that.
That is so rapey.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's immediately where my mind goes. Because you could just be like, oh, Jane?
Yeah.
Is that you? Oh, you don't remember me? Like, we went to high school together. Yeah, back in, you don't remember class of 93? Like, immediately she's like, "Oh, really?" And you're in. And then next thing you know, she's in the trunk of a car,
Well,
being taken to
There's ether.
to undisclosed location.
There's
I'm
boner
not saying
syrup.
I've thought about this. I'm just saying, yeah, you got chocolate syrup all over you, and you don't know why. Yeah, this is crazy. That's just
This is
nuts.
bad. There's nothing about
Oh,
this
it's
that's
so
good.
bad.
Confessions? What the?
how easily identifiable are the glasses still? Are they still obviously?
No.
So,
no.
well, here's
They
the
look
kicker.
like glasses.
So you wear Ray-Bans, right? Or you have. That used to be your go-to, right? Okay, so that was used to okay. So imagine your Ray-Ban glasses, and in each corner you've got a little camera. Okay, so to me, I was able to I was interviewing a whole bunch of people one day, and those stuck out to me. Somebody had a pair of those on. I'm like, he's got Meta glasses. He needs to be gone. He was recording the interviews, so I picked up on it really easy. But there's also a red light, supposedly, when they're actually recording. But you can turn that, you can hack it, and you can take that red light off. So that's the caveat there. I think they're pretty easy to see.
Our phones are also supposed to not be listening to us when we don't have them on,
Right?
And they do.
Right. But I get I get an ad for boner syrup now that I've talked about this.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
My phone's flooded. I don't know.
Something you want to
Steve,
share,
pass-
George?
Yeah, Steve, pass that ad on to me if you don't mind, Steve.
Yeah.
I got you. No worries.
FA's
I
gotta
don't want
do
to.
some
I don't want to
homework.
give this to you now. I don't want to do that and have that be a thing because that could be terrible. I don't know. That just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, or the glasses. I mean, you're right, Fitz. As soon as they look exactly like glasses, then everything's fucked. It's so rapey, and there's so many guys, mostly guys, that are going to take advantage, like you said. Like, oh hey, Deborah, it's me from whatever, right? And he knows where she's been, what she's been
From
through, all that.
church, from whatever
Yep.
she posted
Yep.
that day.
Yep.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's the other angle. If we're now realizing this is a possibility, imagine like a CIA honeypot scenario.
Oh yeah.
You want to turn some politician, and the girl walks in with some nice little cat eye glasses, make her look really attractive, but they're also gathering data on this guy, and she's like, hey, she tries to make a pass at him. He's like, no thanks, and she's like, okay, look, I know you had underage sex with your babysitter. I found this out. You got to play ball, otherwise I'm gonna release it. I mean, how easy would it be to gather tons of information on a person within seconds, and then you've got them. They're
totally
done. You got them cornered.
How about this though? What if this is going to be the tool that launches the shaming of people?
Yes.
Via their social credit score.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
We're already there.
Yeah. China.
We're already there with just this is the phones that we have.
You can
and
walk
this is even more
around
subtle.
and you're like, oh, your credit score is a 1.2 social credit
Yes.
score.
Yeah.
Yours is a 4 point whatever, right?
Yep.
I'm not talking to you.
Can you imagine you're going out to a bar, right? And you're single, you're this dude, and you're going in there and you've got a social credit score of 2, 2.5. Maybe you're a young buck. You haven't done a whole lot. If some chick that's was interested in you, it's over.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
job.
I mean,
everything.
Jobs over.
What
Oh
was
yeah.
What was the Netflix? Not Black. Was it Black Glass? Broken Glass? What was that?
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror. Thank you. Yeah, they did a whole thing on that, a whole episode on this.
And there was a movie too. I forgot the name of it. God, I forgot.
There's been a couple, but like in the Black Mirror, like the girl, she made a mistake, like a very innocent mistake, and then the next day her friends were blacklisting her. Her boyfriend wouldn't talk to her. Her job wouldn't let her. I mean, it was like
over.
an immediate.
Her life was over.
Like, yeah, right. You're done. Like, why would you not just fucking end your? Well, there you go, Canada. Oh,
Jeez.
Canada. They're gonna just tie in
There's
the
the tie-in.
suicide. Hey, you're gonna get an ad on your glasses. Hey, we see your credit score just dropped 4 points in one day. Would you like to end it?
Oh
That'll
my
be the ad.
God.
Your life's over anyway, so
Your life's so yeah. You can't recover from this. Just fucking end it.
Jeez.
Good God.
Well, but if you look
Dystopian.
at what's happening in China, you have
Yeah.
thousands and thousands of people who can't find work because their social credit score is so low. They're homeless because their social credit score is that low.
Yikes.
This is what we're looking at. And here you've got this Mark Zuckerberg fuck who's here. Let's listen to Mark and how positive this is.
That's like that. Just
Okay. Okay.
watch your head.
Yes, because it needs an armored fucking briefcase.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. He's
on
got it.
somebody's
He's got a
wrist.
handcuff to him, like it's the nuclear football.
Whatever.
Close that for me.
All right, here we go. There you go. This is Orion, our first fully functioning prototype, and if I do say so, the most advanced glasses the world has ever seen. They need to be glasses. They're not a headset. No wires. Less than 100 grams. They need wide field of view, holographic displays, sharp enough to pick up details, bright enough to see in different lighting conditions, large enough to display a cinema screen or multiple monitors for working wherever you go, whether you're in a coffee shop or on a plane or wherever you are. And you need to be able to see through them. And people need to be able to see that through them too and make eye contact with you. Right? This isn't pass-through. This is the physical world with holograms overlaid on it.
That's where we're at.
Shopping.
I mean, so he's presenting it in a certain way to where it's like, look how beneficial this is.
Oh yeah.
Right. Well, there's two things with that. One, the arguments we've been making where this is really like this could be used to hold people accountable or shame people with their credit score, right? Social credit score. And on the other hand, like, where is the disconnect? Where can humanity get away and just fucking decompress? Like, do you really need computer monitors in your eyeballs?
I don't want them.
It's insanity. No. When I was in the military, we had glasses that looked very similar to that, and we called them BC glasses. Well, everybody did. They were birth control. Like, they basically guaranteed you weren't going to get a girl. So first of all, those are ugly as fuck. So they have a lot of work to do on that. Second of all, I thought it was very interesting that he talked about not only do you have to be able to see out and interact with the world, but someone has to be able to see in and make eye contact with you. That's wild. Because it's one thing if you walk up to someone and you see like little blue lights flashing in their eyes or whatever, and you're like, oh, they're or their heads down, you're like, oh, they're on their phone or they're watching something on their glasses. But if you can't tell, if you don't know if they're actually doing that shit or not, and you can just make eye contact with the person, but they're actually watching a fucking porno with maybe your face overlaid on, Ron Jeremy's body. Like,
wow.
I'm telling you, this is some wild shit.
Yeah.
So do you, have you guys, I know, Phillips, I know you've seen Gamer. Have you seen Gamer?
Yeah.
George?
I believe I have. I'm sure I have.
Okay. Gamer. This is Gamer.
That's
only it's there's not even glasses involved. And I went back and looked real quick while you guys were discussing Free Guy, the movie Free Guy.
Yes.
Puts the glasses on. It's the same goddamn
Yep.
thing.
Yep. That's
It
it.
is the same thing.
That's it.
Oh, Gamer.
That was a great
Yeah, I
movie,
saw
by
that.
the way.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Both
I
of
watched
them
that.
were good.
Yeah.
They're both great.
Conversation. Yeah.
I would say Free Guy is the comedy version of Gamer.
Right. Yeah. But Gamer is, and for everybody out there who hasn't seen Gamer, it's Gerard Butler. He is a person he was in jail, I think, and they took him out of jail. He becomes basically a game player. He becomes an NPC, but he's controlled by a guy who's outside of we'll call it the Matrix.
Yep.
And he's in there as a warrior, and it's all televised. It's kind of like Running Man a little bit.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
like
And he gets freedom if he makes it.
Right. And this whole world is built on people that are outside of the Matrix controlling people that are willing to be inside the Matrix. Very, 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 very creepy. Very creepy.
Yeah.
But
and sorry, go ahead. I just want to hit something that came up in chat real quick.
No, go ahead. Go
ahead. Well, so Third Ayatollah just said, saw something this week about people reviewing what these glasses are recording when people forget about them because they're not wearing them, like their wife is undressing or whatever. That's the other thing is we are slowly ceding our privacy one step at a time. Look, if they came to American society back in the 60s and they were like, hey, we want technology completely integrated into your house, and we're going to always be watching and listening, and we know everything you do, even when you're jerking off to, gay porn. Nobody would have gone for it. It would have completely died. But they have slowly, one small step at a time, gotten us to this point where we've got technology that are, we're essentially cyborgs, right? We have our persona, but we rely on technology to make us better. Everybody does. Yeah. Your phone is your memory. It has a 1,000 phone numbers in it that you could never memorize
Pictures
yourself.
Galore.
It's got pictures of all your memories. It's got access to the internet. So we are essentially cyborgs already. And the next step is going to be, look, it's a good thing if technology is incorporated into your person, into your life, on all levels. And people are going to start doing it.
I'm going back to the brain cell experiment.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Exactly. Here we are, full circle.
I got another story that parallels this that someone told me. I just looked it up to verify because I wasn't trying to remember. But anyway, did you guys hear about the DJI software hack?
I don't know.
So DJI makes the drones, right?
Yes.
So apparently that company,
yes.
Yeah. So apparently that company also is involved in making the robot vacuum cleaners.
That's what we had last week. We had 7,000
about it
vacuum
last
cleaners.
week.
Yes.
Yep. Did you? Yep. Okay, so you guys already covered it. So I'm just saying, like, this parallels is like it just came to my mind because when you were talking about the glasses continuously recording.
Yeah.
And it's like we have all these risks. Here's this guy that had control of 7,000 DJI robots. And then there not that long ago there was a hack on the Amazon Ring cams.
Yes.
It's like,
well, and at the end of the day, look, if somebody hacks my glasses or hacks my blink system or whatever, and they see me walking around in my boxers or shit, even if I'm buck ass naked, that's not a bad thing. The problem happens when you got the neighbor over and you're cheating on your wife, or you're doing stuff with your brother or sister or what. All of these things that should be like private and your own family's business. Now you're outed. And we, again, wrapping it round back to the social credit score. How quickly can you just be basically ostracized, eliminated from society because you did something that someone else doesn't think is okay?
Or now that's the honeypot. Now you're taking advantage.
That's what I mean. You got both sides of it. You can be manipulated because of it.
To Lisa's point in chat, though, the third party company that picked up the images that you were talking about, Lisa. So Lisa's comment, saw something this week about people reviewing what the glasses are recording when people forget about them because they're not wearing them, like their wife is undressing. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's actually, it was a third party company that Meta employs in Nairobi, Kenya, that picked all that up.
Great.
Enjoy the journey.
Again, I think there's tiers to it. I don't care if someone sees me naked. I really don't. I got nothing to hide.
Okay, Fitz, hold on.
That's the principle, though. Come on.
But I'm saying, like, my own personal privacy and my own autonomy, that's what is important to me. The things I say, the thoughts I have, the way I do things, all of those things do matter to me. And it's such a deep violation. I don't know why people are okay with this kind of thing.
So
your likeness is going to end up being picked up.
Well, that's the other thing.
A Roomba, and you're going to be used in AI, and you're going to be a superhero that you're never going to get money for.
All right, so you're setting this up. This is what I'm going to say. You need to either trademark or copyright your body.
Yeah.
So that when this happens, you can sue the fuck out of those people for infringement.
Yeah. 100%. Because
this is going.
And hey, this is another argument for why everybody needs to get some tattoos. Because your tattoos are yours. Yeah, they're original. And don't buy the flash off the wall. Go in with your own original idea, get your own shit. You know who the artist is, and now you are your own unique barcode. And so you can't absolutely say
on, then.
That's my likeness, or do that. That's okay.
The serial number, whatever.
Just
it's like stamp right between your fucking shoulder blades. Done. You know
what was the assassin? What was that video game? He had a barcode on the back of his neck. All of them did.
Hitman.
Yeah, Hitman.
Yes, yeah. Hitman. Just go that route. Just shave your head, get a barcode.
Or in your case, put the barcode by your nether regions, whatever. So,
dude, I'll do it everywhere. I don't care.
He's gonna have a barcode on his butthole and everything.
I'll tattoo my asshole. I don't care. Might feel good.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I just have to say, this might be the most wild show we've ever done. We started out real serious.
It's top 5.
It is all over the place for sure, but it's fun.
We started out real serious, and now we're just clowning, and it's fun.
Well, at least it wants you to get a Holocaust number put on your arm.
Oh, well, okay. Now you're crossing the line, McShane.
We're just going back to barcodes, right? I didn't cross the line. Our chat did. Come on.
Oh,
you guys.
shit. No.
All right. What beer are you guys taking to bed?
Go ahead, George.
Well, between these two, it's going to be the Delirium. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Nice.
Yeah, between these two. I mean, a hazy, I'll be honest, they're a dime a dozen these days, and some of them are really good, but they're all very similar. But this Delirium stands out. It's unique, it's different, slightly sweet, slightly sour. I dig it. I like it. I went through it pretty quick, so I guess that says something there.
Nice.
Good.
I also enjoyed that beer. It's a good one. It's one of those where you're like, and you said it earlier, like, I'm not sure this is really qualifies as a beer.
Right.
It's some other kind of new drink. Yeah.
It's almost, yeah. That's another, I don't want to delay it, but that's another story. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good beer.
Yeah.
Fitz, what do you got?
Oh, I mean, for obvious reasons, and maybe not so obvious reasons, I'm taking the Bourbon County. Always just such a solid goddamn beer. They just keep killing it. I hope they never really end that that whole enterprise. Because Goose Island, they make some really like bland stuff. Some stuff that the everyday working guy is gonna like, but then they do some specialty stuff like this that's just it's always a solid beer. So good. Really enjoyed it. So definitely taking the Bourbon County. No disrespect to Great Notion, and that was probably the best non-alcoholic beer I've ever had. I mean, if we're being honest, it was really tasty.
If you didn't know that there was an alcohol in it, would you have thought it was NA?
I would have probably gotten another one. It was that enjoyable. It was really good.
All right.
Yeah. Good. But I'm definitely going with the Bourbon County. The 14.8% is hitting exactly where it needs to hit. So I'm liking that. How about
good? Those are
good.
How
about you, McShane? What are you taking to bed?
Double Go Shock. This is the one that was between Trillium and Horus barrel aged ales. So great beer, easy drinker. I think once I got past the shock of because I was not expecting it to be as much of a decadent beer. Easy drinker. In fact, I moved on to my second side piece. So, but good beer. I liked it.
Nice.
George, what would you like folks to know and remember about your show?
After this conversation,
please forget I had a show at all. No, come on.
Not at all. This was great. I mean, this is right up my alley, guys. I have different personalities depending on who I'm dealing with, but in the end, the core of what I am, I mean, this World of Blaze, my podcast, honestly, we're just looking for no bullshit truth, getting down to what things are really about and stepping outside your comfort zone. That's what I do. And I'll be honest, I know I'm not always entertaining and fun, but if you're looking for, someone who's not willing to just dismiss, the story because it's like no one else is focusing on it, it's not popular, I'm not going to do that. So if you want to get down to the bottom of things, as much as I can within my own resources, by the way, you want to get the facts, the data, you want to hear conversations from all sides, that's what I do. And if you want to dive into geopolitics, not saying I'm an expert, but I do have a pretty good grasp on it. And I have resources and people I can reach out to help me out. So, and I'll include all that in the show. So that's what I have to say about my podcast in particular. I think that's what stands out among many that are out there at this moment.
Awesome. Yeah, it's such a good show. I mean, it's not hyperbole. It's not, I've listened to your show several times, really enjoy it. Again, the guests that you get on are so diverse and varied. You just never really know what you're going to get.
You're right.
And I like that. And I'm in for the ride.
The trick is trying to keep things within the vein of what the show is, which is obviously news and politics. And sometimes that's tricky in the conversation, but I always try to bring it back there because that's what the show's about. But I love talking, I can dive into philosophy if you want. We can talk about history. We can talk about, theology. I can go into many different subjects, but I always try to bring it back to what this particular show anyway is. And that is dealing with geopolitics, world events, current events anyway, and even some domestic politics. And I try to tie it all together the best I can. I'm not always successful. Not all my shows are really that good. I'll be honest. Sometimes I put them out I don't know if that was going to hit. But
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't be modest. Don't be modest.
You never know. No, it's true. I mean, it's true. Not all of them were great. But, what I think is horrible sometimes ends up being really, really good in terms of response. So I'm like, I don't know.
We've had that too, where it's like, oh, that was such a bad show and everyone loves it. It's like, okay.
But I appreciate anybody who listens. So that's all I have to say. I mean, I think that you guys are a lot more fun than me. So, but I think we're similar in how we approach getting down to the bottom of the truth. So if anybody likes your show, they should like mine. And if they want more laughs, definitely you guys break it up very well. Yeah, I mean, you're very good at that. So, hats off to you,
appreciate
to be
that.
honest.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Well,
that's all McShane, by the way.
Nothing
He's the fun one.
No,
he's the fun one.
No.
We've already
proven
Hefe,
that.
No fits, nothing.
No.
Well, we appreciate it, and I will tell you right now. You were being very modest. One of the things I appreciate about your show so much is that it's honest and it is thoughtful, and there is not a lot of that going around.
Yes.
So keep that up. As long as you are trying to seek truth, as long as you're trying to seek reason, you're doing the right thing, man. So keep it up. World of Blaze podcast.com. You'll find George on IG, YouTube, X. Got to follow his X account because it's a very, very
man, that one. I swear to God, we can get into that later. But X, they just hate me.
Oh,
you know
X
what though?
Tough, dude.
But
it's tough.
okay, but when have you been wrong though?
Right.
It doesn't happen
I'm not
very
gonna say
often.
I've never been wrong, but
what? Okay, yeah.
Here's the thing about X, guys, and you deal with the same thing.
Yeah.
The way it is right now, its algorithm and how they handle things.
Yes.
I've been blocked by 3 major accounts, like big accounts.
And it hurts. Yep.
And I at one time, and I'm not a follower guy, like that's not my goal. But at one time I had close to 10,000 followers. And then all of a sudden, drop. And then I had no reach. And then now, no matter what I do, I get no exposure. I was blocked by Scott Horton, Daryl Cooper, Mehdi Hassan. I'm just not getting anywhere. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to continue to put it out there because
No,
my
you still
view
keep
is
throwing it
this.
out there.
If people want to find the truth, it's going to come out. And
Yes.
and let me put this caveat out there. The truth as I see it based on the information that is available at the time. I have to always say that because things develop. You never know.
Yep, that's right.
Absolutely.
That's a very good point. What we think we know today, we might not know tomorrow.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
But yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and one day we'll figure out the other way around where you guys are on mine. But regardless, it's no rush, no push. It's just whatever makes everybody comfortable. But I mean, this was great. I appreciate it. I really do.
Well, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
sure.
And hell of almost 3 hours, man. Thank you so much. I
Was
appreciate
it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Could have gone
Good
another
time.
3.
Didn't even feel like it.
No. Thank you for listening. RazorWireNews.com is the website. Make sure you guys check us out, subscribe, and you guys can always find us on Instagram and TikTok, and we're even on True Social and IG. We're all over the place. Just make sure you guys follow us. I'm Stevie J.
I'm Fitz.
Think critically.
Act accordingly.
We'll talk to you soon.
Razor Wire!